Carmona's first pitch is outside, ball one. 56 degrees our game time temperature, although it feels warmer than that.
Yeah, it's actually beautiful.
One and one to count on Ellsbury. I think Bart might want to check his thermometer.
Well, Bart doesn't care because he's not making the road trip, so he can say whatever he wants tonight.
One hopper up the middle, and Ellsbury aboard to start the ball game.
Check the Tribe defense behind Carmona this evening. It looks like this. Francisco in left. Sizemore is in center. Chu is in right. DeRosa at third. Peralta at short. Cabrera at second. Garco at first with Martinez behind the plate.
Umpiring crew tonight. Jerry Davis, the crew chief, will call the balls and strikes. Brian Gorman at first. C.B. Buckner at second. And Mike Everett down at third.
Here's a bird's eye view. Gorgeous view.
High above from the Goodyear blimp. Looking down into Progressive Field as Carmona looks in to face Dustin Pedroia, who went 3 for his first 3 last night. As the Red Sox jumped out to the early lead, but then cooled off by the Indians bullpen.
Well, this guy here, patient, especially when you get Ellsbury on. He can run. He has 10 stolen bases, has been caught twice. I'm sure he's going to have the green light, so these two will work something out before the year is over.
Double play ball. 6-4-3. So where was that patience there? Interesting that he went after it early in the count.
Well, he already took one strike, giving him a chance, so he figures you can't fall behind too early. The Indians lead the league in turning double plays. That is their 29th. That was a good little slider away. And Carmona got it on the ground. And I'll tell you what, it seems like the starting pitchers are starting to feed each other on turning double plays. And the defense, they're ready for it.
Yeah, they are on their toes. So the twin killer brings David Ortiz to the plate, bases empty. Ortiz starting to really heat up. He's hit in 8 straight games now. And takes a strike over the outside corner. I mentioned it last night. He really struggled early in the year, but Terry Francona said, guys like Ortiz, they've got track records. They're proven players. You can't start pulling them, in and out of the 4 spot and moving your lineup around. You let them go. You give them more rope than you would, say, a younger player.
Well, especially coming off injury. You're absolutely right. This is a 162. This is a marathon, and they know their numbers will be there. And you keep giving them the opportunities with guys on base, and it's just a matter of time before it kicks in.
Ortiz has had good career success against Carmona.
If you manage like that all year, and Eric Wedge is the same way, if you manage like that, you'll be changing your lineup every single day. Oh, this guy's hot. Let me get him out of this spot, put him here, go there. You can't do it that way.
The challenge Eric Wedge has had early in this year, and we'll get into this more when the Indians come to bat, has been primarily out of health. I mean, Travis Hafner's been in and out of the lineup. He's had the shoulder issues. Now he's been placed on the disabled list, so he's been juggling that lineup to keep people fresh and get the healthiest and most productive guys in the key spots. But the Indians will have to play without Hafner for at least the next 2 weeks.
Well, and especially a guy that's in the middle part of your lineup. Every time he's played, I believe he's hit 4th. I don't think he's hit anywhere else. That makes his job that much tougher because even though he's not healthy, and he's doing just what you say that Terry Francona does. He's got a track record of hitting 4th, so you end up putting him in there. And if the guy's not healthy, what's he going to do?
Again, we'll get to it when the Indians come to bat more in depth. Chu batting cleanup tonight, and it may be a revolving door to find that guy who, last year was Johnny Peralta, who eventually really stepped in and thrived in that cleanup spot. And hopefully it won't be more than the 2 weeks for Hafner on the DL. Ortiz, a check swing, and he gets it past DeRosa. He beats the shift with a base hit.
Well, it goes to show you how easy it is or how hard you have to hit a ball when they have the shift like that, when they do it for him, when they do it for Hafner. That's a half swing. That's like a little check swing. And it just plays perfectly because they're playing him so much to pull, and he gets a base hit.
So that'll bring up Jason Bay. The Red Sox left fielder having a terrific series. He is 5 out of 7 against the Indians. And he takes a first pitch strike. Big Papi really no threat to move at first base. The 0-1. Missed down low. Jason Bay has a great eye at the plate. Check out our Firestone League leaders. Firestone, a tradition of innovation. Bay leads the league in drawing the base on balls. Shin-Soo Choo among the leaders as well.
He's just a solid player, man. He's a good hitter. He loves to hit that fastball. He's got a nice short swing, and he's got some pop with it as well.
Swung on and missed. 1-2 the count.
This looked like a changeup from Carmona. Take something off and you have the hitters out front. It still goes down pretty well.
So with Ortiz at first and 2 down, the 1-2 pitch to Bay. He got a piece of it to stay alive. One ball and 2 strikes the count on Bay. See Martinez wants that sinker. The 1-2 in the hole. Cut off by DeRosa. And the inning-ending force. Red Sox get 2 hits. They leave a man stranded. Do not score. Now the Indians and Grady Sizemore coming to bat. To field, Indians ready to take their swings against John Lester. Here's the starting 9 for Eric Wedge, brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Grady Sizemore, Asdrubal Cabrera, and Victor Martinez at the top. Shin-Soo Choo, Ryan Garco, Johnny Peralta in the middle. Then Mark DeRosa, Ben Francisco, and Kelly Shopping DHing and batting 9th.
It'll be John Lester making start number 5. He's 1-2 of 488 in 24 innings. He struck out 26, coming off a start against the Yankees, a no decision, where he went 6 innings, gave up 7 hits, a couple runs. Has pitched well in his career against the Indians, 2-0. He really came onto the scene last year with health and had an excellent year. Finished 3rd among left-handers in the league with 16 wins behind our own Cliff Lee and Joe Saunders.
Lester has a great arm. Good fastball, curveball, changeup. 16-6, a 3.21 ERA last year. Right, he tried to bunt it past the mound. Lester bobbles it, throws, and not in time. Well, he speed kills, and perhaps maybe the fact that Sizemore was the guy going down the line, it made Lester hurry.
Well, he didn't hurry is the problem. And once you miss it with Grady going down the line, you could be in trouble. I don't know if they're going to give him a hit. It's probably an error. It's right there, a backhand. All he's got to do is catch it. But when you don't catch it and he's left-handed, he's got to turn that body around and flip it up. That will be an error. And that's the right call. That's just an easy backhand if he catches the ball.
So the Red Sox defensive woes continue. That's their fourth error now in the last two games. And now as Drupal Cabrera, 2 for 9 in the series, steps in. It was Cabrera who bounced the ball to first that ended last night's game on an error. And looks at ball 1 down low. For the Red Sox, that's now their 15th error of the year. They are tied for last defensively in terms of total errors, along with Seattle, Baltimore, Texas, and Los Angeles. So
well,
a lot of teams.
Yeah, this series certainly has not helped. With the 3 yesterday, it actually let the Indians win the ball game.
Yeah, all three of their errors directly led to runs. I mean, on those plays. You know, sometimes there's an error, and then eventually a team will score a run. Indians scored on those errors all 3 times last night. That's kind of rare in itself. Lester's 1-1 pitch in the dirt, and Veritek kept it in front of him. 2-1 the count now on Asdrubal Cabrera. Boston began the night 5th in the American League in pitching with a team ERA of 4.07.
Well, their starters have been down, but their bullpen is rated #1. They have the smallest ERA. And again, as we mentioned in the open, that both bullpens did a terrific job taking over for the starters early in that game yesterday.
Well, Lester's fallen behind Cabrera here, 3-1. Brady Sizemore has a big lead at first. And he had him picked off.
Him, yeah.
And a rundown now.
Caught him leaning. He sure did.
And he is tagged out by Pedroia, the second baseman.
He had him leaning. You just watch. He wanted to go. He wasn't sure, but by the time he thought he knew he couldn't get back. So he's caught in the rundown. It'll go 1-3-4 on the caught stealing.
And on the 3-1 pitch, you can almost book it. A base hit to left. I would love to look up the numbers on what that.
I wonder. I don't know if they keep them. You know that they may. I don't know. Let's set the Red Sox defense for you now. We have an opportunity. Bay is in left. Ellsbury in center. Van Avery is in right. It'll be Lowell at third, Green at short, Pedroia at second, Bailey at first, and Veritek behind the plate. But it seems like I would say 70% of the time,
especially early in an inning, not in a. You know, when there's nobody out and you get a guy caught stealing or picked off, the next guy almost invariably gets a hit. So Cabrera's at first for Victor Martinez, who's 2 for 7 in the series. And a pitch low for ball 1. Martinez riding an 8-game hitting streak. 14 out of 32. And the count 2-0. He has 10 multi-hit games already this year. That's second best in the American League. Second only to Kevin Youkilis in batting average.
Well, and we've seen this from Victor since he was a kid. Once he gets going, he gets one early. He continues. He's like the great hitters. They just keep piling them up.
Hit pretty well to center. Back goes Ellsbury on the track at the wall. Leaps up, misplays it. Coming around third to score is Asdrubal Cabrera. Into second, Martinez. He's going to try to leg it out for a triple. He'll go in sliding, safe.
That's a rarity. He may never see one of those again this year, but Big Vic got a triple.
Martinez drives in a run. Indians take the 1-0 lead. Perhaps I was a bit harsh in saying Ellsbury misplayed it. I think he mistimed his jump. Let's get another look at it here because it looked like he got back in time to make the play.
I think he jumped about a step too soon because he had room. He thought he was up against the wall. See, he had one more step to go back. And, you know, it's not your home ballpark, so it's foreign territory, foreign soil. So he goes back. He had one more step to go, and he might have been able to catch that ball. But that was a good read by Cabrera, round in second. He was halfway to third base when that ball went over his glove.
Indians' first triple of the year.
From Victor Martinez. You could have won money on that.
And it's Martinez's first triple since 2004.
Yeah, if Ellsbury would have caught that ball, it would have been an easy double play. He did not.
That play.
And it's not an easy play by any means.
Yeah, well, here's one more look at Ellsbury.
See, he knows the wall is close. So he said, I got to jump because he knows it's right there. But he had one more foot to go. But the ball gets over his glove, ricochets off, Cabrera scores, Martinez to third.
Infield drawn in for Boston. Chu trying to get that second run in, takes a strike. He's down on the count now, 1-2. I was going to say, Rick, that play a little bit reminiscent of David Bell's inside the park homer, and where the outfield goes back, and once the outfielder gets to a point of no return and it hits that wall, then you're playing chase.
Yeah, well, in that point you are because it's going to deflect back behind him. No one can really back that play up for him.
2-2 the count. And Bell's homer, if I recall, it hit the left field wall,
yes,
and it ricocheted just so straight hard, back. There was nobody there to chase it down. Cabrera scoring on that play, and now Martinez at third trying to come home with Chu at the plate. The 2-2. Full count. Again, we showed you the stats earlier. Jason Bay leading the league in walks. Man right behind him is Shin-Soo Choo, who has walked 15 times already this year. Now the payoff pitch. In the air center. This is slugged pretty well. Ellsbury back again. He makes this catch. But Martinez able to tag and score, and Chu drives home his 10th run of the year. Well, it's 2-0 Cleveland.
That's a great at-bat right there by Chu. I mean, he battled a tough left-hander. Took him to a full count, and he drives it deep to center field. Hit it right on the nose. So Chu may have found a slot that he likes, that number 4 hole. He gets a fastball and puts a good swing on it. Gets his job done. That's the sacrifice fly, the 5th for the Indians. They had 2 coming into this series. They have 3 in the series. So they'll take a 2-0 lead.
2 down, bases empty for Ryan Garco. Jammed, floats it in the left for a base hit. Take a look at tonight's injury report, brought to you by the law firm of Nuremberg, Paris. Ohio's injury lawyers since 1928. Call 1-800-399-2300. Travis Hafner added to the disabled list today for the Indians. And for Boston, Kevin Youkilis not on the DL, but sitting out this game. Sore in the oblique area in the ribcage. He's been hit by a couple of pitches this year. And so Terry Francona giving him the night off. With Travis Hafner going on the disabled list today, the Indians called up pitcher Rich Rundles. So the Indians now have 14 pitchers on the roster. Rundles in the bullpen tonight. And perhaps it's a move based on last night's game in which the bullpen was used so extensively. It may be a short-term move. Before the Indians head out on the road trip, they may make another move to add an outfielder or
it has to be
because
bat. It gives them 14 pitchers.
You only have 2 players on your bench right now.
You can't do that. Enough. We're going to go with 8 players and 20 pitchers.
Trevor Crowe, Tony Graffinino on the bench for the Indians tonight. That's it. 1-1 pitch to Johnny Peralta. Mike Lowell goes the short way, inning over. But the Indians make the most of their opportunities here in the first. They get a pair, and after an inning of play, it's Cleveland 2, Boston nothing. Second inning here at Progressive Field as you get a look at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum. Mike Lowell to lead it off for Boston against Fausto Carmona, who takes a strike. Mike Lowell 2 for 9 so far in the series. And it looks at a ball in the dirt to even the count at 1-1. Some afternoon baseball today in the American League. The White Sox beat Seattle by a final score of 6-3. Chicago runs their record to 11-10 now. Liner to third. Rosa goes to his knees, makes the catch, 1 away. Over in the National League, Milwaukee shut out the Pirates today, 1-0. Well, it's BOGO time at Alvin's Jewelers. Now through Mother's Day, buy 1 piece of jewelry, get the second piece of jewelry free. Support a Cleveland-owned family jeweler. Visit alvinsjewelers.com. Here is Jason Varitek, 2 out of 4 in the series. That came in last night's game. He sat out the opener when Tim Wakefield, the knuckleballer, pitched. In that Milwaukee Pirates game, this sensation for Milwaukee, do you pronounce it Gallardo or Gallardo? Giovanni Gallardo.
Right.
Not only did he get the win, going 8 innings, pitching a 2-hit shutout, punching out 11, he hit a home run for the game's only run.
Wow, that's a good day.
You know the old-timers, how they say sometimes you got to pitch a shutout and hit a homer?
Yeah.
He did.
You're right. That's old-school baseball right there. 1-0 ball game. You hit the home run to win it. That's beautiful. You know, because Pittsburgh was the one. Don't they have 4 shutouts on the year as a team, Pittsburgh? And you know, you get beat 1-0. That's a good ball game.
That game was played in Milwaukee. Yeah, the Pirates were off to a good start. Still are. They're now 11-10 on the year, but after sweeping the Marlins, they get swept by the Brewers, and they find themselves 3 and back of St. Louis in the NL Central.
Think about it. That's doing it all. You pitch, you hit you score the only run, hit it in, shut them down.
Big bouncer, Asdrubal Cabrera, 2 down.
Well, bring your Pepsi cans to any Indians team shop or the Progressive Field box office, and you can receive half-off tickets to April and May home games. That's right, the first 2 months. Well, we're done with April, so let's say May. This offer includes bleacher, mezzanine, and upper box seats. So look for specially marked Pepsi cans at a store near you. Because, you know, we're gone. Tomorrow's off, and then we start May 1st.
Yeah.
April is in the past.
Jeff Bailey looks at a ball inside. One last note on that Milwaukee-Pittsburgh game. Murph said that Ian Snell, who pitched for the Pirates, went 7 innings. Only allowed the 1 run, the homer to the opposing pitcher. 130 pitches in the game for Snell in the 7 innings of work.
130, that's a ton.
For only 7 innings especially.
Wow.
So I don't know if he had a lot of base runners or just a lot of foul balls or what. He only allowed the 1 run, so he must have been doing something right.
No, that's a pretty good hitting Milwaukee lineup. We'll see the Brewers here this summer.
Interleague play will
at Progressive Field, and we'll go to Pittsburgh.
We'll go to Pittsburgh to play the Pirates. Also get the Cardinals here at Progressive Field. They're in first place in that Central in the NL. I'm really looking forward to seeing Albert Pujols, because the last time we played the Cardinals, Pujols was in a slump where he was coming off an injury. I can't remember
which.
which.
Hope he's in a slump when we see him again.
He wasn't the Albert Pujols that you're used to hearing about. And I mean, he's probably the best player in the game.
He's off to a great start. There's no doubt about it. He's in his own world. He won't be here. They called him up to the league above this one, so he won't be here when they come in, which is in June, by the way.
3-1 the count on Jeff Bailey. 2 down, bases empty. Carmona trying to set him down in order here. And it's ball 4. First walk issued by Fausto. And with 1 out, it brings John Van Every to the plate. Well, Monday, speaking of pitch counts, Monday's game saw the Indians and Red Sox combine for 275 pitches in the game.
It's not bad. That's a pretty good job.
Last night, 410 pitches combined.
That was a long night.
There were 63 foul balls hit in the game last night.
Well, we told you they used about 12 dozen baseballs.
24 full counts, 12 pitchers used. And the Indians prevailed for the 9-8 victory. You get a look at Anthony Reyes, who started that game for the Tribe.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a long night because the first 3 innings they had already used 8 dozen baseball. And I mean, that was well over 2 hours after the first 3 innings. 7-7.
The White Sox and Mariners played a doubleheader yesterday. And the doubleheader that they played was just under what our 1 game took last night. One ball, 2 strikes, the count on Van Every. Carmona deals, and he fouls it away. The 1-2 again fouled off. J.D. Drew nursing that hamstring injury. Played last night, but not in the lineup this evening. A little bit too low. Van Every showing a pretty good eye, good discipline here. If Jonathan Van Every, if that name sounds familiar to Indians fans, he was a draft pick of the Tribe back in 01. Signed with the Red Sox as a free agent at the end of the 07 season. And last year played at AAA Pawtucket and got 11 games in the big leagues with the Red Sox to make his major league debut. 29th round pick of the Indians back in 2000. He didn't sign though until 01. Just a career .258 hitter in the minor leagues. Boy, what an at bat here. He has shown a very discerning eye. Full count.
He's fouled off some pitches. It's been an 8-pitch at bat. He's fouled off a couple of pitches, taken some balls down low. So he has made Carmona work. Even though he had 2 outs, nobody on, the walk to Bailey. And now the full count will give Bailey a chance to take off.
And the payoff pitch is low, ball 4. So Carmona has walked back-to-back hitters after he got the first 2 out here in the inning. Now the number 9 hitter, Nick Green, to the plate. Really wasting a lot of pitches here for Fausto.
Well, what happens, it comes back to haunt you later in the game. You know, he was able to get the first 2 guys out. And, you know, he threw Van Avery some strikes, but he fouled off some tough pitches and back-to-back walks. And you're talking about the 7 and 8 hitters. So that comes back about the 3rd time through the lineup to get you.
Now Nick Green looks at ball 1 down low.
But this Boston lineup, as we know, they make you work. I mean, you're not going to skate through. They don't swing at a lot of first pitches and give you easy innings. As a pitcher, they make you work. And you better be on top of your game, because even when you do get ahead of them, like Carmona was, they still drew the 2-out walk.
And this is his 40th pitch of the night right here. And he hit him with it. Bases loaded. So Carmona got the first 2 outs of the inning, and then 2 walks and a hit batter. And now we go to the top of the order in Jacoby Ellsbury.
This one just took off and got out of the way. I mean, not even close. Right in the number 2. So Victor wants to go out and talk to him. So does Carl Willis. Well, he went from an easy inning to having to work hard to get out of one here. And now it's back up to the top of the lineup.
Well, that's what's so frustrating for Fausto, is that, you know, he can go from seemingly rolling along to in a jam in the blink of an eye. And even though it's a 2-out jam, he's still got runners at every base. And Jacoby Ellsbury, who had a base hit his first time up, coming to the plate. And the Indians with a 2-0 lead. And Fausto comes right at him with a 4-seam fastball for strike 1. A little bit low to even the count. Red Sox have made the most of their opportunities in these situations. 5 for 12 with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs in the series. And missed again. 2-1.
Well, when you start missing like Carmona's doing, there's no way you're going to get anything close or borderline. Victor tried to frame it and bring it down a little bit, but that ball took off.
Swung on and foul tip. 2-2.
There you go. He went in, challenged him right there. He comes up empty. Looked like it had a good run to it.
Jeff Bailey, the runner at third. John Van Every at second. Nick Green down at first. 2-2 pitch. Swung out and missed. He gets out of the jam. Carmona punches out Ellsbury, and the Red Sox leave him loaded. We go to the bottom of the second. 2-0 Cleveland. Talking to Fausto Carmona, who got out of that bases loaded jam with the strikeout. May have noticed a little mechanical flaw in his delivery.
You know, it's coming to the point where you have to recognize that yourself. You know, you got to do a little maintenance and house cleaning on your own. I mean, Carmona's been around long enough to make adjustments on the fly when he does start getting out of whack in an inning.
Mark DeRosa looks at a ball up high. It's 2-0. Last night, Mark DeRosa had a big night for the Tribe. 4 hits, including this bomb that tied the game at 7 with a solo home run. Tied the game at 8 in the 7th inning. Relax. You're at Great Clips.
Well, he seemed a lot more at ease after a night like that last night, didn't he? After a 4.5-hour game, we talked to him. He said, hey, I just want to go home and get some sleep. Man, I'm sick of watching film from 2005, and you know, you work so hard to try and get out of it. Sometimes you got to go the other way and try to make an out, I think, and it makes you relax a little more.
There's a high fly ball, left field, Bay back, running out of room, and it's out of here. Mark DeRosa with his second home run in as many nights. Number 5 on the year, make it 3-0 Cleveland. That was a high drive that just seemed to keep on carrying.
Well, that's going to be a Pepsi replay. And let's get a look at DeRosa in his second straight game. He is going to go deep. He put a nice swing on that. It carried, just gets to the home run porch. And that is going to be out of here. So refresh everything right there on that replay.
Ben Francisco, 2 for 5 last night with a big 3-run homer himself. Yeah, Mark DeRosa, and granted, Rick, last night was just one game, but he just seemed a lot more at ease in the clubhouse today,
well,
too.
I'm telling you, it's a confidence thing, man. I don't care how long you've been around.
There's a single that finds its way just beyond the reach of Nick Green at shortstop. That ball looked like it was going in slow motion. But back-to-back hits to open the second for the Tribe.
This one off the end of the bat on the breaking ball. And just gets by Green. Just couldn't get out there fast enough. Makes a dive. So that's already the 5th hit now for the Indians.
Now Kelly Shopik batting 9th tonight, serving as the Tribe's DH. And looks at a ball down low. Kelly a homer, 4 ribbies, 2 doubles on the year. Good off-speed pitch there by John Lester. And the count now 1-1. Shopik 0 for 4 in the first game of the series. Did not play last night. Now, for what it's worth, and again, these things are hard to figure out, just as they are every year. But Kelly is just 1 for 15 at home to start the year.
Well, he'll get it rolling again. Hard to figure out.
And he really swung the bat well at home all season long last year.
Well, there it is. He fouled off the pitch he had. There was a pitch to hit there, fastball. Comes in. He helped him out the first swing, where he lets that one arm fly off the bat and he swung at a ball out of the zone. There's his pitch, and you foul it off. He's trying to hit that one into the seats. He's trying to follow DeRosa. But Kelly, he's that type of hitter. It's all or nothing. And it seemed like when he got hot, it was here. And, I mean, he gets at it early. He didn't miss a lot of pitches.
But we've also seen him have the ability to take that 2-strike approach and go to the opposite field.
Let's see what he does here, because he's going to get a breaking ball. That one time he did not do it.
Chased after it, and the strikeout for out number 1.
First strikeout for Lester, who had more strikeouts than innings pitched coming into today's game. He got strike 1 and strike 3 on Kelly in that at-bat. And 2 times he swung, there were balls. So he's getting himself out. That's why he's not swinging very well here. You got to swing at strikes.
Well, and as you said, he had one good pitch to hit in the at-bat and fouled it back. Now Grady Sizemore reached on an error his first time up when he tried to bunt one past the mound. But the pitcher, John Lester, tried to field it, dropped it, and Sizemore were able to beat it out. In the dirt, and Varitek with a good stop. Grady Sizemore now 6 for 19 against left-handed pitching this year, which is very good for him. Actually came into the night 100 points better against lefties than righties. The 2-0 fouled away. I understand that there are more right-handed pitchers and you see more right-handed pitching, but it's hard to believe that Grady has already faced right-handed pitching 69 times, and this is just his 20th at bat against a left-hander.
Well, they haven't been pitching many lefties against the Tribe this year, or at least the teams that we've played haven't had them. I mean, we're the only team that's undefeated against left-handed starters. The Indians are 3-0. You know, and they've probably faced the fewest of anybody. As a matter of fact, now that I'm looking at the numbers, they've faced the fewest left-handers of anybody in the league. Doesn't mean now that they haven't faced relievers. I'm talking about left-handed starters. So, you know, once a game goes and they get matched up, you'll see him face a lot of left-handers. But, you know, left-handers, as starters, you make your second straight time he got a guy. He cannot pick up the read. He got Grady, and now he gets Francisco.
2 down.
I don't know if he was off and running. Let's see. Or is he just, he was going to take off. He was going to steal that base. 2-1 count. But, you know, that's the old rule. Hey, you've got to make sure he throws home before you can run. Makes no sense to take off over there to steal a base. That's a hit and run count anyway.
He did not go. 3-1.
See, there he is. Jeff Dassard. He's saying, hey, you don't have to go. You got to make sure he throws the ball home first before you take off.
It's ball 4 to Grady Sizemore. First walk issued by John Lester, and with 2 outs, it'll bring Asdrubal Cabrera to the plate. Here's a look at tonight's All-Tel text poll question of the game. Indians with a 7-game road trip coming up. How many games do you think the Indians will win? Text your answer to 31962. We'll have the results coming up later in the game. Asdrubal Cabrera singled and scored his first time up. One of the things that's impressed me so far this year with Cabrera is his eye. I mean,
he's been patient.
13 times. That's top 10 in the league.
You know what? He's been very patient. You know, and it goes to show you, when you just swing at the ball that's in the zone, not only does your average go up, but you get on base more because you're walking. You're not swinging at his pitch. So he's been I don't know if it's maturity starting. He seems a lot more relaxed this year than he was earlier last year. He can be a sucker for a high fastball where he'll chase it. If you get ahead of him, you'll see a lot of teams that try to throw the fastball upstairs. And, you know, then you try and throw off speed away. Well, that's the old high and tight, low and away.
We're all suckers for the high fastball.
Yes, that's true. I mean, but he's a young hitter, so, you know, he's getting better and better. And he's hitting very good from the right side of the plate. He just looks a little more relaxed in the box this year to me. And he doesn't feel like he's got to get a hit every time up. He just put a quality at bat out there. And guess what? If you make an out, you make an out anyway.
Let me ask you this, thinking back on your experiences. Pitch recognition. Is it a little tougher at the big league level because the pitchers maybe don't tip them as much, or the breaking ball's not as obvious coming out of their hand?
They're more consistent with it is what they are. You see, when they come with a breaking ball or something, they can miss by 2 or 3 inches, where in the minor leagues, if they miss, they may miss or bounce it in the dirt. And I'm not saying they can't do it up here. There's the high fastball right there.
Couldn't lay off. Second strikeout for Lester, but the Indians get another run on the DeRosa dinger. 3-zip Cleveland after 2. Provided to you by Goodyear. When the road throws you a curve, get there on Goodyear Innovation. Really has turned out to be a beautiful night in downtown Cleveland.
Well, I'll take it.
Right around 60 degrees.
You know, it's nice, and you know it's staying lighter till after 8 o'clock, and then 8:30, and then 9 o'clock, and then I love that. That's a great time of year.
What makes tonight really enjoyable is there's no breeze. You don't have that ice-cold breeze coming in off the lake.
Right.
Dustin Pedroia looks at a called strike. Bounced into a double play his first time up.
Fausto's been great for the first 2 outs in an inning. Tommy comes up and gives me this note. I couldn't believe it. In the first 2 innings, he's needed 45 pitches just to get the third out. In the first inning, it was 11 pitches. In the second inning, it was 21.
One down. David Ortiz to the plate. Check out our Subway fresh face of the game. Well, Jeremy Sowers went 7 innings. Allowed just 1 run on 5 hits, and the Clippers got a win 5-3. 2.25 ERA and 4 starts for the Indians left-hander, Jeremy Sowers. Subway, play hard. Eat fresh. David Ortiz had a check swing base hit, beat the shift over toward left field his first time up.
Watch how you say that. He did. With the check swing. Beat the shift.
Did I not say that?
Yes, you did. I said just be careful. But you know what? They'll take that every time up with this guy if he goes that way, like that.
4 for 9 in the series. And he's extended his hitting streak to 9 in a row.
Well, and just in this series, just from watching him, Matt, to me it looks like he's starting to work from left field, and eventually he'll work his way over to stay on the baseball, to drive the ball to left. Not necessarily in that first at-bat, but, you know, when he gets back home to Fenway Park, he can play pepper with that ball there if he stays back on it, and that's singles, if not doubles. So once he gets that stroke working, then he'll end up pulling baseballs. I mean, so he's starting from the left center field side to try and start getting base hits. He had one last night in right center. It looked like it was in slow motion, didn't it? Remember where he turned over on it?
Check swing. Boy, I don't know what was wrong with it. 3-1. Man, oh man, oh man. Now the 3-1. Hit to center. Grady Sizemore makes the grab, 2 away.
Create your own Indians collectible in 3 easy steps using your favorite photos on Indians.com. You can make your personal memories a collectible. Just visit Indians.com today.
Here is Jason Bay now, swinging and missing at the pitch. Jason Bay hails from Trail, British Columbia in Canada. A town that has produced at least 10 current and former NHL players, which is a lot when you consider the town itself is only 8,000 people. The local high school that Bay attended didn't have a baseball team. So he would drive across the border to Idaho and play American Legion ball. Bouncer to third. Fair ball. DeRosa makes a good strong throw. And the Red Sox go 1-2-3. A good inning for Fausto Carmona. We go to the bottom of the third. 3-0 Cleveland. on top go to the bottom of the third here at Progressive Field. Victor Martinez, Shin-Soo Choo, and Ryan Garko for the Tribe to face left-hander John Lester. Martinez looks at a ball inside. All sorts of birthday wishes to send out tonight. We'll take care of our own business, our in-house business first.
All right, let's go. I know you have some, and I've got a few here as well.
Kelly Shopik celebrating his 29th birthday today.
All right, happy birthday, Kelly.
Rafael Betancourt celebrating his 34th birthday today.
Okay.
Tony Amato, beloved clubhouse manager, celebrating his birthday today.
He's got to be at least 50. I'm telling you, he looks like it. Happy birthday, Chomper.
We'll celebrate in Detroit.
Okay.
It's a good place to celebrate.
Wow, 3 guys in the clubhouse. I didn't realize that.
Lester delivers a strike to the inside corner.
Does that take care of in-house?
That takes care of the in-house.
Not really, because Samantha Golovin, it's her birthday. Samantha, happy 18th to you. She is the daughter of the Indians team physician, Dr. Ron Golovin.
You're right, and I had one more I did forget. As Victor Martinez draws the walk, Cliff Lee, his son Jackson, is celebrating his 8th birthday today. So happy birthday, Jackson.
Okay.
Hope you're having a great birthday, and I'm sure Dad will be there to tuck you in the night.
Very good. So now that takes care of all the in-house.
Yes, that officially takes care of the in-house.
Well, good job on your research. Well, we have.
Well, our Senior PGA Championship Challenge keyword of the day is Nicklaus. If you want a chance to win tickets to the Senior PGA event coming up at Canterbury, along with autographed flags from previous champions, log on to our STOHD.com website, click on the contest banner, fill out the entry form with the keyword Nicklaus. 20 winners will be selected, so enter today. Now Shin-Soo Choo drove in a run with a sac fly his first time up. Really had a good at bat in that situation.
Yes, he did.
That runner at third base, it was Victor Martinez, and he drove it to deep center field to get the runner home.
Well, we'll see. I think one reason why Eric Wedge did not want to maybe put Choo in the number 4 hole or up in that RBI slot is maybe he didn't want to put the pressure on him. You know, as a younger hitter, even though he had such a great second half last year, maybe he felt that.
You talking about right out of the gate?
Yeah, right out of the gate. Even though we felt maybe Travis Hafner's shoulder was bad, he probably didn't want to put pressure on this guy. So now this, by disguise, could be a blessing for Choo. You're into that number 4 hole, and just be yourself. And he's got. I'm telling you, he's had good plate coverage this year, righties or lefties. He's got a very good eye at the plate. This could be good for Choo. If he wants to leave Victor, who the switch hitter is, in the number 3 hole, then you could put Choo the lefty 4th, or if it's against a lefty like tonight, you could put Garko or somebody else up there. So you can see he's very solid against both.
He's an equal opportunity masher. The 1-2. That's a good breaking ball. Struck him out looking. Third strikeout for John Lester. 1 down here in the inning. Time now for our All Care Dental and Dentures Smile and Easy Cam.
They made a bet on the game.
Last night, folks had.
Yeah, they were covered up with
blankets, hooded jackets.
Yeah, that little kid knows how to take a picture already.
17 locations across northeastern Ohio. All Care Dental and Dentures make seeing the dentist easy. Ryan Garko, a base hit, his first time up tonight. Indians got 2 in the first. An RBI triple by Victor Martinez and a sacrifice fly by Shin-Soo Choo. They added a run on the second on the homer by Mark DeRosa. The 1-0 pitch. And that's going to go foul for Garco, 2-1. John Lester on the hill tonight for Boston was a second-round pick for the Red Sox back in 2002 out of high school in Tacoma, Washington. Last year, 16-6. Missed with that pitch, not by much. 3-1 to count. Last year on May 19th, John Lester pitched a no-hitter against the Kansas City Royals, the 18th in Red Sox history, the first one by a left-hander since 1956.
Wasn't that just his fourth start of the year? It was in the first few starts. I know that.
Yeah. He was only the third pitcher to win the clinching game of a World Series in one year and throw a no-hitter the next. Rube Foster did it for the Red Sox back in 1915 and 16, and Sandy Koufax.
Well, there you rarefied air.
Base hit to left for Ryan Garco. He's got 2 hits on the night. Martinez will stop at second. And the Indians back in business again here in inning number 3 with 2 on and only 1 out.
Well, they've been throwing Garg a lot of off-speed pitches. Now, he hit one off the end of the bat in his first time up. But this time, I knew he was going to hit it hard somewhere because he kept the hands back enough. Watch. It's a slow breaking ball and ends up putting a good swing on it and even pulling it in the hole. Garco doesn't like to pull a lot of pitches that way, but he kept his hands back enough. So Garg is now 2 for 2, and that's hit number 6 for the Tribe.
John Farrell.
We'll go back and get rid of our other birthdays here. We've got Ethel Klein of Canfield turning 100 today. So, Ethel, happy birthday to you. Charlotte Thompson of North Olmsted is 82. Happy birthday to you, Charlotte.
And Rachel Johns celebrating her 12th birthday down in Jacksonville, Florida. Watching the Indians on satellite tonight. So happy 12th birthday to Rachel Johns.
Yeah, and my stepdaughter Mandy,
who's probably watching on satellite as well.
No, she's out. No, she's not in California, but someone might be watching to tell her.
Well, happy birthday, Mandy. Johnny Peralta with 2 on and 1 out. The 1-0 pitch. In tight. Pushed him back off the plate.
This is where you'd really like to see Johnny get a base hit here to keep it going, because you're at a part, even though it's early, point in the game where if you can add on, you get another run in the 3rd straight inning. John Lester's throwing a lot of off-speed pitches early in this game tonight.
And he missed again, 3-0.
Look at Veritek saying, where was that pitch? He thought he swung.
Well, this will be his 60th pitch of the night, and there's only 1 out in the 3rd inning.
Let's look at the pitch and see what you think. I think what happened, Johnny didn't go. He's saying it's a foul tip. He thought it hit the bat, is exactly what Veritek thought.
That's a strike, 3-1. Mark DeRosa waiting on deck. The suddenly surging DeRosa, hoping he'll get a chance to bat with runners everywhere. 2 on, 1 out, 3-1 pitch to Johnny Peralta. And he may have chased one there, full count. Let's take another look here on this pitch to Johnny.
Well, he's tardy on that pitch, on a 3-1 pitch, and that's when you should be, ready to go. Shouldn't be caught behind.
So the payoff pitch now. And he struck him out. 2 down. 4th strikeout for John Lester. We'll send you back to the STO studios right now for a Ford Sports update.
Matt, Rick, once again, the Yankees and Tigers tonight playing up in Motown. This is the first run of the game in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Placido Polanco, a sacrifice fly to get Brandon Inge home. 1-0 Detroit. Miguel Cabrera came up with the bases loaded, but Chamberlain struck him out. 4th inning now at Comerica. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Al. Here the Indians have 2 on, 2 out now for Mark DeRosa, who homered his last time up. DeRosa hit a high drive that just cleared the fence and left. Carried over the out-of-town scoreboard. Last night he hit a line drive onto the porch down the left field line. Strike to the outside corner. Count evens at 1-1. DeRosa now 8 for 31 on this homestand. Breaking ball hit on the ground. Lowell gets the inning-ending force, and the inning is over. But the Indians still lead it 3-0 after 3. Of his 9 outs recorded, 5 ground ball outs, 1 strikeout.
Well, that's what you like to see. The ground ball out from Carmona. No doubt about it. Stay aggressive early in the count. He's been very good except for that final out in the first 2 innings. It's taken him a while to get. Other than that, he's been aggressive. He's gotten guys to swing the bat, put it in play.
1-1 the count on Mike Lowell, who lined out to third baseman Mark DeRosa his first time up.
That hurt.
Yeah, it definitely did. And, you know, every time I've seen Lowell running the bases in this series, you can tell that even though he had that hip surgery, he's not full strength. Or if he is, he really is laboring when he runs then.
Well, you know what? Even before he had the surgery, he was hurt, and that's right on the shin. That's a shin burger.
DeRosa with a nice pick to the backhand side, and he throws his counterpart out for out number 1.
Nice backhanded play, and you realize you have time because Mike Lowell is running, so you right yourself up, straighten up, and make a strong throw across. Good play.
Here now is Jason Varitek grounded out.
Yeah, throw the gloves. You can't believe it.
Well, you know, that's the thing. If you're Lowell, even a veteran who's been around a long time, you hit one on the nose, you line it at the third baseman your first time up. Hit that one pretty good, and he makes a nice play to the backhand side.
You know what he's upset? He knows that ball he fouled off his leg is going to hurt for about another 4 or 5 days. So now he's probably going down there to either get it wrapped or get some ice on it.
1-1 the count on Jason Varitek. That goes back to the screen, 1-2. Varitek filed for free agency at the end of last season, and reportedly his agent, Scott Boras, was looking for a 4-year, $52 million contract, roughly the same deal Jorge Posada got from the Yankees. What he ended up with was a 1-year, $5 million deal with the Red Sox. Popped high in the air, shallow left. Johnny Peralta is there, 2 down.
Well, an Indians game always makes a great group outing, and groups of 25 or more will receive discounts of up to half off ticket prices. Just call 216-420-HITS to organize a group outing out here at Progressive Field. The weather's going to start getting warmer. Nice weekend, bring a group. Of course, they got the right field porch out there. They've got those all-you-can-eat seats if you ever get hungry. Want to have a smorgasbord.
I'd like to see you just one night in the all-you-can-eat seats.
No, that's not me.
I'd put my money on you up against anybody.
You would?
Yeah.
No, not maybe a few years ago.
I've seen you over the course of the long haul. I'm not talking about at one setting, but 3-4 hour game, I could see you. I could see you doing some pretty good damage.
3-4 hour game.
You're a grazer. You know, you're not gonna make a big dent at one sitting.
Little hit and run.
But over the course of the night, the spread will definitely feel your impact. Red Sox go in order. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 3-zip Cleveland. and Grady Sizemore to face Boston left-hander John Lester, who misses inside for ball 1. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning here at Progressive Field, joined now by Indians general manager Mark Shapiro. Had some news earlier today with Travis Hafner being placed on the 15-day disabled list. I know coming out of spring training, the plan was to not play him every day, to try and ease him back into it, but obviously the pain and the soreness just were too much for him.
Yeah, I think even Payne's a little bit further. It just hasn't responded, I think, bounced back the way he expected or we expected. It's not that really unnatural for a guy coming off surgery. So, I hope that with some time down, a chance to maybe get him re-examined down in Birmingham by Dr. Andrews just to assure him that there's nothing more serious going on. But talking to him tonight, he's positive. He's like, hey, started to feel it, and you could see it in his swings, 3 or 4 days ago. It just wasn't bouncing back the way it had been, feeling some fatigue, some lack of strength, and I think at this point, hopefully that rest will benefit.
Look out. All right, so we make a move. We call up another pitcher, which gives us now 14. But that's probably because of the way the game. Yeah. Oh, I know that. I was going to say, why don't we just go with 8 players and then we'll go with the rest pitchers? But by the weekend in Detroit.
Back in the day when you played, that was okay.
Well, sure, we only needed 3 pitchers.
No rest,
You got to make a move for the weekend in Pittsburgh, I would think. And I'm sure you've heard this. Everyone's saying, what about Matt Laporta? He's been playing well.
Not Pittsburgh, but
did I say Pittsburgh?
Yeah, you said Detroit.
He's getting ahead of himself.
He's thinking about his own playing career. It's flashback. It was the 70s. It was a different
I forgot
era.
about the 70s.
Yeah. So no, we do have to make a move. There's a lot going on. Obviously, fatigue. We've got certain guys we're trying to manage and take care of in our bullpen that are shut down. We've got some other guys who are dealing with some nagging issues out there in the pen. So although we have those numbers, we don't have all those guys available tonight. We had a guy here. We activated him. Safe to say, at a minimum, we're going to go back to 13-12. Tomorrow we're looking to get back, to get 13 position players back on the club and give Eric a little more full hand to manage a game. He's managing a game shorthanded now, just because of the uncertainty that our rotations had the early part of this season.
All right, not that you dodged the question, but
yes, he did.
Matt Laporta. I know David DeLucci is rehabbing.
Right.
Where is DeLucci in the rehab process? Let's go there first.
I mean, DeLucci, in an ideal world, we probably would have had him play, 4 or 5 more games down there to get him a couple more in the outfield. But I can tell you, not to dodge that question, he's about as locked in offensively. He's hit close to 500 down there. He's had some triples. He's run well, stole a few bases, believe it or not, played well in left field. So I think if we want to bring David up, give him a chance to succeed up here, certainly DH gives us extra at-bats. To allow him to ease back in. I think you're bringing him at a great time right now. So, those decisions are still in the works. But, obviously, Matt Laporta also is a guy that he is going right now as good as you can go. Again, these are his first AAA bats he's ever had. So, we're going to get Matty up here at some point this year.
Ben Francisco, who was picked off earlier in the game, draws a throw with Kelly Shopik at the plate.
Being that he was probably the big piece of the puzzle with the CC thing, everybody wants to see him now, and you know that. I mean, we all know that.
Hey, that's fun for me too. I mean, you bring nothing would make me happier than to get Brantley and Valbuena and
all the boys
up here. But the bottom line is, we want to, we're very.
This ball's hit pretty
well.
Yeah.
Deep right field. Van Every back. It is gone to Souvenir City. He hit it to a Beantown fan.
How about the designated hitter right there?
That's not bad. Hitting 9. Yeah. That's his birthday too. Did you know that? A 2-run dinger on it. Look at him. He's going to pass him at home.
That's not good. That's not good. I haven't checked the rule book, but I think that.
Happy birthday, Kelly Shopik, celebrating number 29 in grand style with a 2-run jack to the lower deck and
let's
right.
Take a look at our Pepsi home run replay, and you have to love that one right there.
Yeah.
That refreshes everything, doesn't it? I mean, plus you add on right now. Yes, he does. When he stays back, I would love to see him drive the ball more into right center. But this is a great time to add on.
Do that. I think with him, it's just a matter of pitch recognition. I mean, his first at bat, he swung at pitches out of the zone.
And
when he gets in trouble,
yes, he did.
He's not recognizing he's chasing balls. When he swings at strikes, when he makes contact, good things happen.
Well,
so all he needs to do is,
he's
make
an all-or-nothing guy,
boy.
More. I know it. He hits it. It goes a long way.
Grady Sizemore to the plate. He's been on base twice tonight.
Excellent time to add on. They had a chance last inning. They didn't do it. But when you can get a guy like Lester, let's look at that swing. Oh, thigh high. And he's a big boy from the waist down, and you can just see.
I mean, that's just strength. He didn't even get that. He got that. He was a little bit underneath that ball. It's just strength. He is a strong man. He has strength to every field.
It's good to see.
Brady Sizemore looks at the ball outside. It's now 3-0.
You guys made the right move. You got him in there.
DH right there, huh?
I'll tell you what.
There was a little discussion on that one. Who we're going to DH? Sudden, nobody down, little light.
Are you taking credit in there?
No, that was Eric West.
I mean, seriously, you're going to take credit because he went deep today.
3-1. Eric West. Eric told me, I think he has, he had 3 hits against, he has like 3 strikeouts and 2 hits, I think, against the last week. Big sample size.
Well, I know one thing. He loves to do it against his former team, the Boston Red Sox.
High pop, shallow left, Bay calling for it.
Well, we've made Lester work, and he's obviously got great stuff. And, we've made him, he hasn't had his best control tonight. Obviously, he's got his ball strike breakdown's not real good. But you make this guy work, you want to get this guy out of the game. As good as their bullpen is, I still want him out of the game.
Oh, I know. But to me, it seems like he's throwing more off-speed pitches tonight than he normally would.
I think he just doesn't have as good a command of his fastball, and that's why he's going those off-speed. Also, I mean, people know we're a pretty good fastball hitting
Well,
team,
yes, we are. But, I mean, you still can't get away from it. And,
No.
That'd be pitching away from his strength because, obviously, he can throw at 94, 95 miles an hour.
As Drupal Cabrera takes a strike. Speaking of a left-hander who's got pretty good velocity, Tony Sipp. Not a guy who got a lot of ink or a lot of attention in spring training, and yet he's come up here, stepped in. He's been thrown right into the fire, and he has responded in a big way.
He's a guy that was on our radar this spring, and Eric and I sat down. I said, if we were taking the best 12 pitchers, Tony Sipp would be one of those best 12. And Eric said to me, we need to get this guy to the point he goes multiple innings, he goes back-to-back days. He's pitched in cold weather. Remember, he's coming off Tommy John surgery. He's a rehab guy. And although he's a year removed now, there's still some things he had to go through. So, I think Eric was right in making the time for him wait for the right appropriate time, getting him past all the opening days so he comes up into an environment that, the environment's a little bit slower. And Tony's come in, and we've thrown him into the heat, which is not what you want to do with a young pitcher.
I think the kid's got the makeup for it, though. I mean, when you talk to him, you know him much better. These other people don't know him.
He said that. He said, "Hey,
he's got the makeup,
He's got
man.
a slow pulse."
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
I guess that's a great way to put it. He's got a slow pulse. He's not intimidating.
No.
I mean, you had Morneau with the bases juiced.
Morneau and Kubel, who may be the hottest hitter in the American
that's
League.
exactly
It
right.
doesn't get a lot better.
And then he comes right back in here and did it last night. Yeah, it's fun to watch him. What a nice addition that would be to give him another left-hander. We haven't had 2 lefties out of the pen. Once Perez gets back, and he's throwing a little bit better now as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to give Eric the ability to keep Perez stronger and keep Perez fresh, because you can look at.
And he can also match up earlier with another left-hander.
Right, you can bring you a high leverage situation with a left-hander earlier in the game and bring Sipp into that, and still have, that situation roll around again in the 8th and have,
with Perez.
Have Perez available.
Yeah, that's very good. He hasn't had that here.
He has not had that. It's the fault of the general manager.
I wasn't going to say that, Mark, but you did.
I
was insinuating.
On our way to Pittsburgh, you had me.
I would never insinuate anything about your best.
That's a low blow.
I like it.
Boy.
This is good. We haven't had John in a while. Since spring training, I think. And usually we have a good inning. See, you got 2 runs on the board.
I'll take 2 every time. I'd stay here for
as long as they're ours.
There were times this year it didn't seem like we were scoring 2 over 5 games, so I would have flown to wherever you were and jumped on air.
1-2 the count on Victor Martinez with 2 down. And he sends a sky-high pop in a shallow right field. Van Every is in, and he makes the catch. But the 2-run dinger by Kelly Shopik have the Indians now in front 5-0. Mark, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.
Good to be with you.
Indians general manager Mark Shapiro with us. Indians with a 5-zip lead behind Fausto Carmona.
Hard, eat fresh. By AM/PM, too much good stuff. And by Altel Wireless. Choose who you call for free with My Circle. Any number, any network.
Well, Fausto Carmona now armed with a 5-0 lead as we go to the 5th inning here at Progressive Field. And he has retired 7 in a row. John Van Every leads off and looks at a first pitch strike.
For me, Carmona's looked much more relaxed, or a little, let me say, slowed down. You know, where he hasn't seemed as hyper. You know, sometimes he can really get caught up and get everything, his emotions going that way.
Knowing Carl Willis as well as we do, I know he would not take any credit for this, but Carmona has been a different pitcher since Carl Willis went out to the mound. So I don't know that it was something Carl said at that time, or we saw the conversation he had with him in the dugout, talking about some kind of mechanical adjustment, but he's seems to have been a different guy since that point.
You know, and Carl may have slowed him down. He's retired every hitter since, as you say.
Yeah.
Flying open is a lot of times what will happen to Carmona, where he'll really get that front shoulder will open up, and that ball will just take off instead of sinking. It takes off and goes up and away to left-handed hitters. And when he drives through, that's when you get it right there.
Good night, John Van Every. Second strikeout for Carmona. He's retired 8 straight. And we'll go back to the STO studios for a Ford Sports update.
Guys, just like last night, the Yankees again with a huge inning in Detroit. Down 1-0. Nick Swisher, a 3-run homer here to put the Yankees on top 3-1. They would score 4 more. They lead it now 7-1. Bottom of the 4th at Comerica Park. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Al. Here's Nick Green, hit by a pitch his first time up tonight. The Yankees scoring in bunches, and that certainly helps the Indians' cause because they're chasing Detroit, who leads the Central Division when the day began. 0-1 pitch. Bounced into the dugout. And I know most people say you can't look at the standings. It's too early in the year, but
well,
you look at the standings every day.
No,
I don't care.
No, I'm going to tell you. I know you do, and baseball fans, we all do. But here's where I look at it. I don't look at the standings where you're at right now. You look at how you're playing as a team.
Yeah.
When you're playing well as a team, you don't have to worry about looking at the standings. When you're playing poorly, like the Indians have been playing, then everybody starts looking and say, how far back are we? When you're playing well, you don't care because you just go out there and play every game for what it's worth, and you got a good chance of winning that day, or you're going to win the series. And you don't worry about it then.
1-2 pitch to Nick Green.
And believe me, this is going to come. They're going to start hitting. They're going to start playing better defense. They're going to start playing more complete games. That's why a game like last night could really give them a confidence builder. They've got a pretty good showing going right now. They've got to finish this one off. But that's the things you build on as a team. And they know they're better than what they've been playing. But they have to do it as players. And you just can't do it all in one night or in one series.
Fouled back. Well, I definitely believe in that old, baseball philosophy of you can't judge a team until you give them at least, I forget the exact number,
they say
35,
40 games.
40 games.
A quarter pole.
Well,
we're halfway to that point.
Yep.
We're over halfway, so, that's close enough.
Carmona gets another strikeout, 2 down. Check out our direct energy bringing the gas sequence. Go back to the second inning. Carmona facing Jacoby Ellsbury with the bases loaded.
Well, this is after he ran into a little problem. He's going to end up getting ahead of him with a good fastball. Then he's going to change speed right here and then go fastball again and get him out on the changeup. So, that's after he got himself in trouble. He relaxed. He had that one little hiccup. Didn't give up a hit. Walked 2, hit a batter, but got out of it. Now he's really settling in.
He's retired 9 straight.
They need Carmona to pitch well. Cliff Lee's back to pitching well. He has nothing to show for it, but he's throwing the ball very well. He's pitching.
Oh, that was a nice pitch there. Had him off balance. The flip. 1, 2, 3 go the Bo Sox again. Carmona cruising tonight. Indians lead it 5-0. Heritage Park, located beyond center field here at Progressive Field, housing all of the Indians Hall of Famers, and really a great spot to visit before the ball game. Shin-Soo Choo drove in a run with a sac fly in the first inning, called out on strikes his last time up. He's batting cleanup tonight, and perhaps for the foreseeable future. Broke his bat there. Lowell throws him out. Cleveland Browns Foundation Golf Tournament comes up Monday, June 15th at Firestone Country Club, benefiting countless children in need throughout northeastern Ohio. You're a foursome of golf. We'll play with a Brown celebrity. And there will also be a great reception, awards dinner, including a chance to bid on unique prizes and experiences. Call 440-891-5000 or visit clevelandbrowns.com to book your foursome. Here now is Ryan Garko, 2 for 2, 2 singles tonight. And he takes a first pitch strike. The 0-1 sounded like another broken bat. And the flip to Lester takes care of Garko, 2 down. Check out the Alltel text poll question once again. And another opinion poll. How many games do you think the Tribe will win on their upcoming 7-game trip? 3 in Detroit, 2 in Toronto, 2 in Boston. Text your answer to 31962. Results coming up later in the game. Johnny Peralta 0 for 2 tonight. And he takes a strike.
Three bats.
I tell you what, that sounded like another one.
He's got good stuff. He's still.
He breaks 3 bats. He gets 3 outs. Indians go in order, and Lester's retired 6 in a row. 5 in the books. 5-0 Cleveland. Indians lead the Red Sox as we move to the 6th inning here at Progressive Field. A lot to love tonight. The Indians got out to the early lead, and Carmona has pitched shutout baseball through 5. He's retired 10 straight.
Boy, he's settled down, hasn't he, since that 3rd inning?
Dustin Pedroia leading off, looks at a ball down low. He's 0 for 2. He's hit into a double play, and he's flied out to center. Pitch number 80 on the night for Carmona. If not for that second inning, when he walked back-to-back hitters and hit a batter, he'd be in good shape pitch count-wise as well, but he needed 29 pitches to get through that second inning. Other than that, I mean, he's cruised. He sawed off the bat of Pedroia.
These guys are going to have some extra lumber for the wintertime here after this ball game.
We could have a pretty good bonfire with the kindling wood we've got. Well, if you joined us late, Indians got on the board in the first. Victor Martinez with a triple just beyond the reach of Jacoby Ellsbury. That scored Asdrubal Cabrera. Mark DeRosa's solo homer in the second inning made it 3-0. And then Kelly Shopping with a man aboard. He goes deep the opposite way in the fourth to make it 5-zip Tribe, and that is where we stand. David Ortiz, 1 out of 2 tonight with a single. That came back in the first. Looks at ball 1 down low. Your mid-game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. For a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com. Good pitch by Carmona, and again, it looks like at times tonight he's pitching. Instead of just pounding that sinker time and time again, he's changed speeds a number of times.
That's what happens. He fell behind 1-0. Now they're looking for something hard, and Victor slows him down. He throws that changeup. You can see the distribution right there. 9 on the ground. Make it 10.
Garco.
He'll get there eventually.
Flips it to Carmona. 2 down.
Well, Saturday, May 9th, when we come home off the road trip, the Tigers will be in town. It will be Cliff Lee bobblehead night. It'll also be Faith Night at Progressive Field and a post-game concert featuring 1,000-foot crutch. Is that right? Visit an Indians team shop or Progressive Field box office. That is May 9th, Saturday. Tigers in town.
That's the name of the band, by the way.
Yeah, I know. You think?
I just want to make sure you didn't think there was going to be a 1,000-foot crutch on display somewhere.
Oh, well, thanks for telling me that.
Oh, boy. 2 down for Jason Bay. He's 0 for 2 on the night. Talked earlier about Bay growing up in Canada, and where he went to high school, they didn't have a team. So he went across the border and played in Idaho for American Legion ball. Played 2 seasons at North Idaho College, which no longer has a baseball program now. And then the coaches at Gonzaga University went to scout him in the winter of 1998. When they went there, it was so cold, all they could do was watch him hit in an indoor batting cage. And yet they saw enough that they offered him a scholarship. He went to Gonzaga. And the rest, as they say, has been history for Bay, who's had a very solid and productive major league career and has fit in here like a glove with these Red Sox.
Yes, he has. He's a free agent at the end of the year, isn't he? So, I mean, this is a great year. And I agree, it's a great fit for him in that team. What does he have, 3 ninth-inning home runs this year already?
Three-one pitch, and there's another walk for Bay, who has done that better than anybody in the American League. Free pass with 2 out will bring Mike Lowell to the plate. And that snaps a string of 12 in a row set down by Fausto Carmona. You know, it was interesting to read about that trade last year when the Red Sox dealt Manny Ramirez. When they finally pulled the trigger on that deal, there were a lot of people in the Red Sox organization that were holding their collective breath saying, we just traded Manny Ramirez. I mean, with all of his shortcomings and everything, That's a pretty big piece of their success formula that they traded away. Sean Casey, who was with the Red Sox last year and who has now since retired, said, hey, I played with Jason Bay in Pittsburgh, and I was telling anybody that would listen to me, we're getting a really good player here. He just doesn't get a lot of ink because he's been in Pittsburgh, and they've been down for a long time. But he said, you're going to love this guy once you get him in here. And certainly, Bay proved Casey right.
Well, he is. He's a good all-around player. But and turn on that trade, Manny Warres welcome out. He's the one that, they had to get rid of him.
He forced their hand at the end of the day.
He was brutal when it comes to the clubhouse. I mean, he probably made Terry Francona, his life a nightmare. Look at, here we go again with Lowell off the foot.
He had one off his shin earlier.
Yeah, he walked in the last time limping in the dugout. Normally, if I'm not mistaken, he normally wears a foot guard, doesn't he? Or down near his shin. He'll have one on tomorrow.
Well, you could see his reaction. He hit that right off his toe.
Well, that's better than the shin. So now that's 2 off the left foot. So that 1,000-foot crutch might be here for Mike Law. Who are you talking about?
Runner at first, 2 down, 1-2 pitch, just a bit outside. Jerry Davis has been consistent.
Well, he's thinking so much about beating that ball off his feet, he can't reach that pitch away. And it's not a bad pitch. It's just off the outside edge. He's worried about that sinker coming down and in right now is what he's worried about.
Now the 2-2 from Fausto. Fouled out of play.
And you see where Victor sits, and you have to do that as a catcher. When he sits there and gives you that sinker and he may want it in, he'll sit middle of the plate. He wants Fausto to start that ball at his glove because with the movement it has on it, it's not going to stay there for long. He will not sit inside, outside. He may put the glove a little away when he wants a breaking ball or something away, but watch where he puts when he wants his sinker. He'll go mid. There it is, sinker. He's sitting middle of the plate.
Broke the bat, down the line, fair ball. Francisco's going to have to hurry to keep Bay from scoring. He's going to be waved around third. He will score, and the Red Sox are on the board. What an at-bat for Mike Lowell. Shatters the bat, keeps it fair, gets Boston on the board. It's now a 5-1 ball game.
Well, he was looking in there all the time after beating himself up. Even though he shattered his bat, watch, he's going to be cheating in there to bail out. You see how quick his hips opened? He was not going to beat that ball in the ground. It's amazing he kept it fair, and there you see Bay scoring all the way from first base. A 2-out walk. Now the double has Boston on the board, makes it a 5-1 game.
So some 2-out damage for the Red Sox. And now Jason Varitek to the plate. Varitek has grounded out and popped up to short. Carmona going to take a walk behind the mound, collect himself, take a deep breath. 96 pitches on the night, 56 4 strikes. The 1-0. Way outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe Carl's got to come out and talk to him one more time. He was so good the first time he talked to him after he got him to settle down. That double right there may have shaken him up a little bit.
Rick, I was just looking out at the scoreboard, and if I saw that correctly, Zach Greinke has finally given up a run.
Well, is it earned or unearned?
Well, that's a good question. It looked like it said Toronto 1, Kansas City 0.
Okay.
Greinke had gone 4-0 without allowing a single earned run so far this year.
He had 29 innings coming into the game tonight, so, well, they got one.
And it was an earned run, I'm told, so the streak is over.
See, right now he just say, you just go with Victor. He's trying to just settle him down, slow him down. Now he had the problem in the first 2 innings, as I mentioned earlier, about, getting that third out in the inning. 11 pitches in the first inning, 21 in the second. Then he breezed through the third, fourth, and fifth. He had a 3-pitch third out inning, a 3-pitch in the fourth, 2 in the fifth. Right now he's at 13 and counting here in the sixth.
Now the 2-0. Varitek slugs one into right center field. That's going to get another run home. 5-2. Varitek speeding towards second base, and he'll slide in safely with a double. So 3 straight have reached, 2 have scored, all after 2 men were out here in the 6th inning. Back-to-back RBI doubles for Boston.
Well, right then and there, if you're Varitek, when the pitching coach comes out, you're going to say, hey, look, settle down. You just got to throw strikes, and he's sitting dead red. He's a good low ball hitter, so he just golfs that ball into the alley. So back comes Boston now. Back into the ballgame, 5-2.
So Varitek at second base now as Lowell comes home. And now a strike to Jeff Bailey, who is 0 for 1. He missed inside with it. 100 pitches now on the night for Fausto Carmona. Again, he had the first 2 outs in the inning. He had retired 12 in a row. But then the walk to Jason Bay and back-to-back RBI doubles have drawn the Red Sox within 3. Broken bat bouncer to short. Johnny Peralta takes care of it. Carmona gets out of the inning. Red Sox get on the board. Middle of the 6th, 5-2 Cleveland. Provided to you by Goodyear. When the road throws you a curve, get there on Goodyear Innovation. A grand old evening at the ballpark tonight. The Indians led this game 5-0. Boston getting on the board here in the top half of the inning to make it 5-2. And now as we go to the bottom of the sixth, it'll be the bottom third of the Indians' order, which has done quite a bit of damage tonight. They have scored 3 and driven in 3. The combination of Mark DeRosa, Ben Francisco, and Kelly Shopping. DeRosa, a solo homer in the second inning. Shopping, a 2-run homer in the fourth. John Lester delivers, and it's fouled back over the screen.
He's throwing a nice little cutter in on the hands to some of the right-handed hitters. Mark DeRosa last night picked on a fastball, hits it onto the home run porch. And tonight, got enough of it back in his first at-bat in the second inning. First throw, but still, you get to jog around just the same.
Since the 2-run homer by Kelly Shopping in the fourth inning, John Lester has retired 6 in a row.
Well, that's what he's trying to do right now. Come out and go 1, 2, 3 after his team just got him on the board. You know, Lester's right there around the 100 pitch mark. This could possibly be his last inning, but he's trying to throw a 0 up as hard as he can.
Yeah, Lester, like Carmona, will be over 100 pitches by the end of this inning, one way or the other.
And this, I mean, if you're the Indians, and that's something they did very well last night against the Red Sox. They were able to you know, score right after they scored the following inning. They were able to respond and add some response runs.
Every time Boston scored in the game, the Indians answered. In fact, the only time a run was scored when the other team didn't score was when the Indians won the game.
Yeah, and they gave it away on the error by Lopez.
The bottom of the ninth inning.
It really does take a lot of momentum away from a team. It doesn't seem like it. You just say, okay, they scored. It's no big deal. But when you're on the road and you can do that against the home team, you do take some of the sting of the crowd away. But when you're at home and you can answer that opposing team's runs in the top half of the inning, it takes their steam away to come back.
There's the 2-2 to DeRosa now. Bounces over there towards third. Mike Lowell on the money. 1 down. Let's go to the STO studios right now for Ford Sports Update. Al, we understand Zach Greinke's streak is over.
Matt, you got it. Something that hasn't happened all year. Greinke giving up an earned run. Base it up the middle for Vernon Wells here for Toronto. He scores Marco Scutaro. And the Blue Jays out to a 1-0 lead as they head now to the top of the second inning at Kauffman Stadium. Greinke's streak is over.
Well,
all right, thanks, Al. Well, if he had to give it up, Vernon Wells, he gave it up to a legitimate hitter.
You're going to give it up. You know you're going to give up a run during the course of the year, but I bet he doesn't give up many more tonight. Yeah, he's been pitching very well.
Yeah, I don't think because he gave up the streak, he's going to crumble.
No, he's not going to. It doesn't care. Sometimes it helps. Now you doesn't have to talk to the media about it, and you can just go out and pitch.
Not that he had many lengthy conversations with the media to begin with.
Well, he shouldn't. Just go out and pitch. He's been dealing. His slider's been unbelievable.
Francisco really tied up with that pitch.
I call it like Dave Stieb-like slider for Zach Greinke.
1-1 to count. Still remember the Dave Stieb no-hitter at the old Municipal Stadium in September of
1990.
Was it 1990?
September 2nd. Almost had one the week before.
The 1-2 pitch. Got him.
Well, he's doing exactly what he has to do.
All right, Rick, the Mega Millions jackpot now up to $220 million. The next drawing will be Friday, so get your ticket today.
$220 million? Is that enough for you?
For what?
To win.
Shopping swings. I wouldn't quit my job. You'd still have to put up with me.
No, we'd fire you. You wouldn't have to quit. We'd fire you because you have money. We only hire the poor here.
Be just like getting an A-Rod contract. He didn't quit. Swung out and missed.
Boy, going inside cutter. He left one out for Kelly his last time up. Well, he's settled down, hasn't he? He's shown that, you know, he had a few bumps in the road, gave up a couple of home runs, but he has settled in.
Well, especially given as much as the bullpens were used last night, he knew Terry Francona needed him to go out and give him some innings, and he's done that despite giving up the 5 runs early. And he strikes out Shopping. 7 punch-outs for John Lester, who has retired 9 in a row. And we go to the 7th, 5-2 Cleveland. His night is over. He did a terrific job. He got a nice hug from Terry Francona, who said, "Thank you. You really helped save the bullpen tonight, kid." And he finished strong, retiring 9 in a row, striking out 7 on the evening. But he's on the short end.
What are they throwing a party in the back of the booth here, or what?
That was a loud crash. Something went down. Lester with pitching coach John Farrell. You can see that while he got a lot of pats on the back, he still has that look of frustration that he didn't pitch better. But the Indians made him pay for some mistakes tonight. A couple of homers, a triple. All adds up to a 5-2 lead for Cleveland. Van Every hits a sky-high pop, left field near the line. Francisco running out of real estate. Makes the catcher, did he?
That could have
yes,
been fan
he did.
interference anyway.
Francisco made the grab.
He stayed with it. That might have been fan interference because someone looked like they came over onto the field for it. Let's take a look at it. He was going over. That ball was coming back. Now watch a fan reach over. No. Yes. See, that could have been, if he does not catch that ball, whoever was in that gray cap.
That guy almost went over the railing onto the field.
See, that ball's starting to come back, and it looked like someone tried to take it right out of his glove. But Benny stayed with it and then retired him for out number 1.
All right, now Nick Green hit by a pitch and is struck out tonight. Grounder to third. DeRosa takes care of business. 2 down.
Well, you can experience a behind-the-scene tour of Progressive Field, and it really is. If you've never been out here for a tour, it's a great view. You get anywhere from the down in the press box or up in the press box to the bullpen, dugouts, batting cages. You get the visiting clubhouse, and you even get out to Heritage Park, which is really a neat little tour. Group rates are available, so call 216-420-HITS and make it a point to come by and see one of the prettiest ballparks in the country. Right now, this is Fausto's longest start of the year here, 6 2/3 innings.
And a strike call to Jacoby Ellsbury, who is 1 for 3 with a single tonight against Fausto. Now the big right-hander ready with his 109th pitch. And a ground ball
Not
in the
gonna
hole.
get him.
And Johnny can only hang on to it. An infield single for Jacoby Ellsbury. Nothing anybody could do about that. That was perfectly placed.
Well, once that guy gets it by the third baseman, there's no shortstop that's going to pick it up and throw him out.
There is double barrel activity in the Indians bullpen. Eric Wedge and Carl Willis conferring on the bench. And they're going to stay with Carmona. Try to nurse him through this 7th inning. He's 1 out away from keeping the Indians in front by 3. But he's got Dustin Pedroia at the plate, 0 for 3 on the night. Pedroia, the reigning AL MVP, hit into a double play in the 1st inning, flied to center in the 3rd, grounded out to 3rd base in the 6th inning. The speedy Ellsbury at first, but his run doesn't mean anything. Tying run is in the on-deck circle for Boston. And Martinez.
See, that's what Victor's telling. Let's go. Don't get too fine now. You let this guy reach base, then you bring the tying run to the plate.
I almost looked like that's what he was pointing to. It's the run on deck.
That's exactly right.
You don't want to face that guy. Let's go here.
Let's go. That's what he's telling him. Look, come on. Don't mess around here. Stay aggressive. You know, I mean, Fausto's. It happens sometimes. They get caught up into it, and that's a catcher's job, is to remind them.
3-0.
And Pedroia, he'll be taken here, but you give him a 3-1 count, he won't be. And now you better have Perez ready, because he'll be coming on to face Ortiz should Pedroia reach.
Well, it looks like he is ready in the bullpen. Well, let's see if Carmona can get himself out of this. 3-0 pitch. That's a strike.
Again, it's with 2 outs in the inning that he has his problems.
Pedroia, knowing that the Red Sox need base runners, unless he gets one right down Broadway, he's probably taken again here. And it's ball 4. So the tying run will indeed come to the plate. And Carmona may have reached the end of the line. Here comes Tribe manager Eric Wedge. And we've got a timeout here at Progressive Field. Rafael Perez will be coming on to face Big Papi David Ortiz. Carmona with a valiant effort tonight. 114 pitches under his belt. He had the first 2 out here in the 7th inning. But he falters a little bit. He'll head to the showers with a 5-2 Indians advantage and a nice hand from the crowd. Lead the Red Sox, but Boston will bring the tying run to the plate here with 2 down on the bottom of the 7th inning. Fausto Carmona, 6 2/3, 2 runs allowed. 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. At one point tonight, he retired 12 Red Sox in a row. Rafael Perez has been much better lately. You almost don't even want to look at his numbers because they're really not indicative of the way he's pitched
the last couple of times out. Well, you know, they broke him down. They sat him for about 5 days. Carl Willis, Chuck Hernandez took him out to the bullpen, and they just had bullpen sessions with him to get him back on track. Couldn't throw his slider, and that's his money pitch. And, I mean, you know, he has a tough time throwing the ball straight. He's been throwing 93. His ball's been moving. He's been keeping the ball down, so he's getting back to where Rafael Perez should be.
Last 2 appearances cover 3 2/3 scoreless innings, 2 hits allowed, 2 strikeouts. And Ortiz looks at strike 1 from Rafael Perez. Pop back foul out of play, 0-2. For 3. And their head-to-head matchups. Ellsbury, who can fly at second. Pedroia runs well at first. 2 down in the 7th. And Perez with the 0-2 pitch. Got him. Rafael Perez rings up David Ortiz. Stretch time in Cleveland. The Indians 5 and the Red Sox 2. Two Indians lead as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. And the new Red Sox pitcher is the guy who was on the mound when last night's game ended. Left-hander Javier Lopez. Lopez was a guy who was covering first base. Kevin Youkilis flipped him the ball, and he just flat out dropped it. I think, as you pointed out, he was looking for the bag with his foot, took his eye off the ball, and never really caught it.
Well, and it looked like he had his foot on the base to begin with. I mean, right in the center of the bag, he just wanted to make sure. But he just forgot one thing. He forgot to catch the ball first. I mean, it happens to even major league players where you go up there and you get in a little hurry or a little ahead of yourself, and all of a sudden, bingo, you don't catch a ball. That's what happened to him last night.
He's got Grady Sizemore as Drupal Cabrera and Victor Martinez here in the bottom of the 7th.
But what's Francona do? He brings him right back in. You know, give him a chance to get in the game again tonight. Plus, you get the left-hander Sizemore.
This is the play we're referring to in case you missed it.
Now watch, he gets over there in plenty of time. Cabrera the hitter, Euclid a nice stop. Here's the throw. Now look at his, see where he was looking at, and his foot's right on the base. He just can't believe it.
Grady Sizemore sends one up the gut. Nice stop by Green from the grass. Guns it over to get Grady.
That ball may have helped the Red Sox hit the side of the mound and then took a nice hop for Green to come up. That's a Sunday hop. If that ball gets over the mound there, it's a base hit into center field.
It really slowed it down.
Yeah, and it gave him a great hop. And Grady, it was bang, bang at first to begin with. If he had to work down and catch that ball off the grass, it would have been a different story.
So now as Drupal Cabrera, 1 out of 3 with a single and a run scored, steps in. Got through all of our birthdays earlier. Forgot to mention Tom Ryan and the Perry boys from Maslin Perry attending the game tonight. For some reason, their good buddy Frank Gamble couldn't make it with him. He had another game or something going on.
Well, tell him it's his loss because it's the only time the Sox are coming to town.
Same problem last year.
I know.
He's always got something more important than coming to the yard.
Well, then you know what? Adios, pal. You will not see the Red Sox in Progressive Field again this year or until 2010.
Right up the gut. This time Cabrera finds a way to pound it through. And he's got a 2-hit night. He just continues to stay locked in at the plate. 4 hits in the series for his Drupal.
And he takes it right back up the middle, a lot like what Grady did.
Being a right-handed hitter, though, Green was positioned a little more on the pull side, so he couldn't get to it. Now Victor Martinez. He had an RBI triple and scored a run in the first. Walked in the third, flied out to right in the 4th inning. There goes the runner.
Great jump.
Not in time as Drupal Cabrera has stolen his 4th base of the year.
You know, he took off on first movement is what he did, and he guessed right. I mean, when you see him, that's a call that Eric Wedge, he's the one that calls it. I mean, he gives it to third base coach Joel Skinner. And then they say you go on first movement. If you get picked off, that's going to be my fault. I'm just guessing he's not throwing to first base. He's just going to go to the plate. Perfect time to do it. You're up 3 runs. You can stay aggressive. I like the call. Eric's gotten really good at making that call.
The 1-1 caught the outside corner. Now Martinez down on the count.
Now you got that, insurance run out there. You got 2 guys to give him a chance, and you do it early in the count. Well, we'll see if Victor can bring him in.
The 1-2 pitch is way outside, so it evens it up at 2-2. Shin-Soo Choo waits on deck. And now the 2-2 offering. Up the middle again. Green will get this one. Spins and fires to first to take care of Victor. 2 down. Cabrera to third. All 3 balls hit off Lopez this inning have been right up the middle. Now don't forget, tomorrow night at 10:30, beer money comes your way on STO. Jameer Howerton, Ashley Collins, they'll be out patrolling the bars, giving patrons a chance to win beer money just by answering trivia questions. Check out the fun, test your knowledge tomorrow night at 10:30 on Beer Money. Now Shin-Soo Choo 0 for 2 with a runner at third trying to drive him home. Caught the outside corner with that floater. The Yankees continue to tattoo Detroit in the Motor City. 8-1, they're in the 8th inning. Tigers started the day a game in front of Chicago in the AL Central. Kansas City also a game back. Royals and Blue Jays tied at 1. They're in the top of the third at Kauffman. White Sox won earlier today by beating Seattle. Choo cuts and misses. 1-2 the count. Twins winning big over Tampa. Minnesota trying to get their record to 500 with a win tonight at 11-11. The Indians could move to within 2.5 games of first place with a win tonight, trying to add to their 5-2 lead here. Bouncer to short again. How about this? Nick Green makes all 3 assists to take care of the Tribe. We go to the 8th inning in Cleveland. It's 5-2 Tribe. Two-thirds, allowed 2 runs on 5 hits, walked 4, struck out 3. Rafael Perez came in a tight spot with 2 aboard and 2 out and struck out David Ortiz to end the 7th. Now it's Rafi Betancourt's turn. Coming on here in the 8th inning to face Jason Bay, Mike Lowell, and Jason Varitek. This is one of the few times this year, granted we're 22 games in, one of the first times, though, it's set up the way you imagine it. Your starter gets you to a certain point.
How the manager likes to use his pen. You get your starter to get you into the 7th. You can match up. You get your lefty to get the lefty out. Now you get Betancourt to give you an inning, and then you get your closer to give you an inning. That's a perfect ball game. and you end up with a W.
That's the strategy anyway.
Right.
Still got to get through it.
You try and do that every night, but, there's a lot of backfires along the way because some guys reach and things go on. And
yeah, because those guys with the bats are trying too.
Well, of course they are.
Jason Bay, weak roller to third. DeRosa off balance throw, and he just did get him. Boy, by a whisker. Kind of an awkward play for DeRosa in that by the time he fielded it and got the throw off, he couldn't get a lot of steam on that throw.
I mean, I looked at the emphatic call by Brian Gorman over there. I thought it was a lot closer than the way he looked.
Wow.
He came up there and just said, out. That was close. Bang, bang. Nice pick. Nice stretch by Garco.
What did Mark Shapiro say about Tony Sipp? Slow pulse?
Yes.
Brian Gorman, slow pulse.
Okay. That's fine. If you give me that. I mean, I looked at it. I was waiting for him, to really say he had him.
I'd love to see what Brian's excited expression. I think that's it. That's his excited expression right there. He's hearing it from the Red Sox dugout, too. Mike Lowell fouls it back. He may have, in particular, been hearing it from Jason Bay, who thought he was safe. It was a close play, no doubt about it. Lowell had the RBI double in the 6th inning that got the Red Sox on the board. And he is 3 for 12 in the series. Right back to the screen. Now, don't forget, we had our Fill the House tonight. And the Indians are making a donation of $1 for every paid ticket in the ballpark tonight, with paid attendance of more than 19,000 and the group ticket sales and experience package fundraising efforts by the Salvation Army of over 6,100. Cleveland Indians
again.
Present a donation to the Salvation Army of Greater Cleveland for $25,178.
Okay, and it's it's early. You would like to have more people here, early in the year like this, but back-to-back Wednesdays now, and this homestand that they've raised over $25,000 for their local charities, and hopefully that gets better and better as the year goes on.
I have a feeling it will.
I agree.
1-2 the count. Lowell, he's going to step out. Now he's ready to go. And he rifles it into right field. Almost looked like Lowell said, I know he's going to throw it away. I'm just going to sit away, and he punched it the other way.
Well, Lowell's a guy that's very quick on the inside part of the plate. Well, Cleveland Indians 6-pack ticket plans are available. There are 10 6-packs to choose from, and you can receive a ticket for the June 1st Yankees game free. That will be the wraparound on Monday when you purchase a 6-pack. So check into that. Visit Indians.com.
Here now is Jason Varitek. An RBI double his last time up. With a crowd of 19,000, the Red Sox fans who are here have made themselves rather vocal at times, which has drawn the ire of the Indians fans who are here. So there have been a lot of impromptu cheers and boos.
Well, they get their Red Sox Nation gets their let's go Red Sox going on. And
as soon as they do, the boos come raining down.
Then it awakens the home fans.
A 1-0 to Varitek. That's a broken bat liner into right field. And the Red Sox have 2 on with 1 out. So Rafi Betancourt now, he's in a jam. And the Indians bullpen about to get busy. Looks like Jensen Lewis is going to get up. A high fastball, belt high, and Varitek jumped right on it. And Jeff Bailey will be the batter. Now, the Red Sox do have J.D. Drew, Julio Lugo and Kevin Youkilis on the bench. But Youkilis, sore ribs after being hit by a couple of pitches.
There's an opportunity.
Drew's got the sore hamstring. Lugo's got the gimpy knee.
Not if the game's on the line. They'll be okay. You watch.
Well, why wouldn't he be batting him here?
Because it's only the tying run. They got to do a little more damage to get him close. You don't bring him up in this situation. You'll get.
Here's the set and the pitch. And that chant of "Let's Go Red Sox" competing with the boos from the hometown fans here. Bailey twice has grounded out tonight. Swung on and missed. Threw it by him.
At one time, Rafael Betancourt, a shortstop in the Boston Red Sox organization as a kid. When he first came up.
The 1-1. Fouled out of play. (1994, 1995, and 1996. He was a middle infielder for Boston. Converted to a pitcher in 97. Popped up foul and out of play.
I remember a guy that used to be with Boston, Bob Schaefer, who's been with a number of organizations, now with the Dodgers and Joe Torre, but with Kansas City. I think he was one of the guys down in the minor leagues that helped convert Betancourt to a pitcher. And said he was a heck of an athlete.
Raffy also spent time pitching in Japan. Fouled back out of play. Now the set on the 1-2 pitch with 2 aboard here in the 8th. Ground ball to third. DeRosa bobbles it, and they're loaded. Oh, boy. Everybody's safe, and the bases are loaded with 1 out.
First error of the evening for the Indians. And it was a costly one because it possibly could have been a double play ball to get out of the inning. Betancourt comes back with a breaking ball right on the ground to DeRosa. Let's see when that ball gets to him. That's a double play ball if he can field it cleanly. By the time he makes it up, he wisely says, I'm going to hold it. I don't want to throw it away. They will have the bases loaded.
Now John Van Every, right fielder, left-handed batter. 0 for 2 tonight. Looks at ball 1 up high. Nick Green waits on deck. The 1-0. Bouncing ball in the hole. That's going to get at least 1 home. Lowell scores. Veritek stops at third. And it's a 5-3 ball game. And now the tying run is at second base. And Betancourt has given up 3 hits in the inning. The error obviously hurts. But Betancourt's had a tough time getting the ball down. Everything's been up, belt high.
Remember you were talking about J.D. Drew? Guess who's on deck?
There he comes. He's going to hit for
you
Nick
save
Green.
those bullets when you have them for when the game, you've got a chance to take the lead and win the game, or at least get the lead. You don't bring them up before they can tie it. Your other guys got to do that. Well, they have, and the defense of the Indians has helped. Well, now
Jensen Lewis has been warming and appears to be ready. So now it's a matter for Eric Wedge.
They're looking at the numbers. Look at, he's talking to Carl Willis. He's going to go make a move.
We will have a pitching change here at Progressive Field. Jensen Lewis will be coming into a bases loaded, 1-out situation. Tribe in front, 5-3. Out, 8th inning. Tribe leading 5-3. Jensen Lewis coming on for the Tribe. J.D. Drew will be pinch hitting for the Red Sox. For Lewis, his 10th appearance on the year.
Well, they are loaded. Baratek, that Bailey, Van Every, and J.D. Drew, the pinch hitter, is at home plate. So they're loaded. The Indians up a pair.
J.D.
Just
Drew
one
0
out.
0 for 1 as a pinch hitter so far on the year. And Lewis gets ahead of him with a first pitch strike. Indians infield, double play depth. 0-1 pitch. Ground ball towards second. Cabrera gets one at second base, but that's all they'll get. 2 down in the inning. Another run is in. It's a 1-run game. 5-4, Indians lead it. Ball just wasn't hit hard enough to turn 2.
Cabrera wanted to get it there, but as Peralta, you hold it. He wasn't going to turn it even with a good throw.
We'll get a pinch runner now for J.D. Drew, and that's going to be Julio Lugo. And Lugo will stay in the game and play shortstop now for Boston. So first and third with 2 down. Jacoby Ellsbury, with a couple of hits on the night, is the batter with that tying run 90 feet away. And a first pitch strike to Ellsbury. 0-2 the count. One strike away from sending us to the bottom of the 8th inning and keeping the Tribe in front by a run. Up the middle. We're tied at 5. Lugo's going to go to third. That's the go-ahead run now. So the 0-2 pitch smacked right up the gut by Jacoby Ellsbury. And that wipes out the performance of Fausto Carmona tonight. They are back to even.
I want to see the location of the 0-2 pitch. I mean, if you go up with it or you go in with it, you got to be, go in with it. Look at that ball. Belt high, middle of the plate. 0-2 pitch. You cannot leave a pitch right there. Too hittable. You work too hard. I mean, he came right out of the chute and got ahead 0-2. That's a terrible pitch.
Now Dustin Pedroia 0 for 3 tonight. So the Indians bullpen faltering here in the 8th inning, giving up 3 runs to tie the game. Go-ahead run now 90 feet away. For what it's worth, only 1 run in the inning will be earned.
It doesn't matter.
The 1-1 pitch. Pedroia shoots it back. Red Sox have now out-hit the Indians 9-8. 4 hits in the inning for Boston. The 1-2 pitch, runner at first breaks. And it's foul tipped in and out of the glove, or I'm not sure it ever got to the glove. Lugo, the runner at third. Go-ahead run. Ellsbury at first. A 1-2 count on Pedroia. Lewis deals. Runner at first breaks. DeRosa throws across. And we will go to the bottom of the 8th. Now tied at 5. bottom of the 8th inning. Julio Lugo stays in at shortstop. And now coming on to pitch for Boston is Manny Del Carmen, hard-throwing right-hander. 10th appearance of the year. He's yet to allow an earned run.
Well, we told you earlier in the day, when you look at bullpens, Boston has the best bullpen in the league. They come out, they have a ERA that comes out to 2.39, 4-2 record in their bullpen in their 20 games.
Ryan Garco will lead it off, 2 for 3 tonight. And a first pitch strike from Del Carmen. Now the 0-1 in the dirt. Tonight's scoreboard update brought to you by Coors Light. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Indians had a 5-0 lead. Red Sox have come back with 5 unanswered to tie it. Del Carmen missed outside, 2-1. Terry Francona, who has watched his team battle back tonight. And now he's going to rely on his bullpen, which has been excellent so far this year. Back out of play. Manny Del Carmen, born in the Dominican Republic, but he was raised in inner city Boston. He grew up within 10 miles of Fenway Park. In fact, when the Red Sox drafted him in 2000, he was the first inner city Boston player drafted in 3 decades.
How nice is that? Play for your hometown right there.
Pretty neat deal.
You know, a wedge away from the ballpark.
2-2 fouled away. Made his major league debut with the Red Sox in 2005. Pitched in 50 games out of the bullpen in 2006. Last year, 73 times he was used. And an ERA of 3.27. Now the 2-2 to Garco. Again, it's fouled back. Del Carmen looks in to Jason Varitek. And the breaking ball is popped in the air near the line. And a diving catch is made by Van Every. And he holds on for out number 1. Well, he skidded
That's
on
all
that
out,
rubberized track, but he hung on.
That doesn't feel good, and that used to be dirt there. But now you come on, and you know you're running out of the grass, but you got to catch the ball. And he never hits any part of the grass, and you hit there and you skid. You stop. Watch the hand go down. That's a burn.
Oh,
look at that hurts. Look at him. The first thing he's going to do is look at his hand.
Yeah.
It feels like it's on fire. That's like a rubberized track, man, and that heats up in a hurry. Now he's going to have some brush burns there. Good play, good hustle.
Now Johnny Peralta, 0 for 3 tonight. And he takes a strike. Swung on and missed. 0-2 the count. Del Carmen is another guy who had Tommy John surgery. Blew out his elbow. Tore the ligament in his right arm. Throwing a changeup in his 4th start of the 03 season. Did it on a changeup, which sounds a little unusual, but when that elbow ligament's ready to go, it goes. Doesn't matter what the pitch is. The 0-2 ran it up high, and he wouldn't chase after it. Manny Del Carmen's dad was a pitcher in the Phillies organization in the minor leagues in the 1970s, and he gave Manny Del Carmen a great piece of advice when he joined the Red Sox. He said, watch what Pedro Martinez does. Not a bad guy to follow. Swing and a miss. Peralta strikes out, 2 down. Johnny 0 for 4 tonight.
There it is. It's a ball out of the zone, but once you get started, Johnny can't hold up. He is just not swinging the bat like Johnny Peralta. He is scuffling right now.
Now Mark DeRosa, 1 out of 3. He homered back in the 2nd inning. And he looks at a ball outside. Two balls and no strikes. Manny Del Carmen has set down the first 2 here in the 8th inning. But he's fallen behind DeRosa 2-0. He catches the outside edge barely to make it 2-1. Now the 2-1. Breaking ball missed. 3 balls and a strike. Last year, right-handed hitters batted .218 against him with 5 home runs. Left-handed hitters actually had a tougher time against this right-handed pitcher. They batted .190 with no dingers.
Wow.
So here's a 3-1 now to DeRosa. And he walked him. So a 2-out base runner for Ben Francisco. Here are the results of tonight's Alltel text poll. Tribe fans feel the Indians will be right around 500 on this 7-game road trip. A game either way. That's called hedging your bets, I'd say.
Well, that's called watching them play. That's the way they've been going. They haven't put anything together, haven't been able to string 2 in a row together, so it's hard to say anything more than 3 to 4. I see what they're saying.
Francisco looks at a ball up high. He missed again. 2 balls and no strikes. Last night, Ben Francisco provided a big jolt for the Indians. A 3-run homer that tied the game at 7 off Boston starter Brad Penny. Let's see if Francisco can play the role of hero 2 nights in a row.
See how he let that ball get down there? Even though he got it out front, he hit it off the pole. He wasn't out front swinging too hard. He let it get back. It was very quick hands on that swing.
Two and 1 the count, as Del Carmen is about to make his 20th pitch of the inning. way up high, and the count 3-1.
Well, he's starting to lose control of that fastball.
Kelly Shopik would be next. Serving as the Indians DH tonight. Francisco hoping to get a pitch he can handle right here. With the go-ahead run at first base, the 3-1 fouled back.
Good swing.
He had it. He had it.
Good swing. Figure he wants to throw you a strike. You get your fastball. You foul it off. Good swing. That's a game of inches. You don't know how close you are. And believe me, that's not even an inch right there from just hitting that ball hard or a line drive somewhere.
And now the payoff pitch. DeRosa takes off, and it's ball 4. So back-to-back walks. 2 on, 2 out. And Kelly Shopik will be the batter as John Farrell makes a visit to the mound. Well, wouldn't it be nice to see Kelly Shopik go deep right here and donate some more money to the Gathering Place?
Yeah, I'd cap off a nice birthday present for him.
Every time the Indians homer, Great Clips donates $50 to the Gathering Place. Rick and I are each donating $5 each for a homer. So far this year, $1,740 going to the Gathering Place. You too can help out. Log on to touchedbycancer.org and find out all about the Gathering Place.
Got 2 tonight. Let's make it 3.
There you go.
I'm all for that.
Kelly Shopik celebrating his 29th birthday here this evening. He had a 2-run shot in the 4th inning.
We'll see. John Farrell coming out. He's having a tough time throwing that fastball. Maybe start Shopik off with a breaking ball, knowing he's a good fastball hitter.
There it is, but he missed down low.
You see, you slow him down when you do that. That's Shopik back in the 4th. Looked like a little cutter. He stayed back on, good power the other way. But Del Carmen, they realize Shopik's a good fastball hitter, so let's start him off with the breaking ball. What it does, it also slows Del Carmen down a little bit to then maybe go ahead and, let that arm catch up so he comes back-to-back breaking balls.
1-1 to count.
That may help him gain control back with his fastball where he's all over the place with it right now. Just slow him down a little bit.
Mark DeRosa, who scored the winning run last night, is the go-ahead run at second base here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1-1 pitch. On a play.
Okay, now he comes and spots that fastball after he threw 2 breaking balls. Now ahead in the count. And he crowded him with it. He ran this little 2-seamer inside and wasn't going to leave it out over the plate. I mean, he's got enough on it. He's over the 90, mile an hour. He's got a good heater. So he got it inside and tightened him up. Got to come back with a breaking ball here, I would think.
He's ahead in the count, 1-2. Varitek will try to set up his one-time protege, Kelly Shopik here. It hit him, bases loaded. He wanted the fastball up and in, but that came a little too far up and in.
Well, the reason why, I mean, they wanted to set it up, but look who's you got coming to the plate now. I mean, you got Sizemore. I figured he'd go right at him with the breaking ball and try and go for the strikeout instead of wasting a pitch setting it up. Even if he misses with it now, it's a 2-2 pitch. But it gets Shopik in the back of the arm, and it loads him up for Grady Sizemore.
So here we go again. Bases loaded, 2 down. Bottom of the 8th inning. Indians, Red Sox tied at 5. Grady Sizemore, the batter, 0 for 3 tonight. Grady just 1 for 12 in the series. Trying to break a 5-all deadlock. Low, ball 1. Del Carmen had the first 2 outs in the inning. Then back-to-back walks and a hit batter, and now he's closing in on 30 pitches for this inning. DeRosa at third, Francisco at second, Shopik down at first. Red Sox scored 3 in the top half of the inning to tie it. Can the Tribe answer back to regain the advantage and send it to the ninth? The 1-0. Did catch the outside corner with that one.
That's why he's so tough on left-handers. That pitch right there, Matt. Pulls a string, and you figure, okay, he missed with the fastball, 1-0 count. He's got to come in there. You're looking fastball as a hitter. But Grady didn't swing. He took it all the way.
Oh, inside corner, paints it 95 miles an hour. Gets ahead 1-2.
Well, changeup away, fastball in, 2 great pitches right there by Del Carmen. Now he's still got to put him away. He had Shopik 1-2.
Bases loaded, 2 down in the bottom of the 8th. And the 1-2 pitch just missed inside with it to even the count.
That was just to back him off. That's something I think he wanted to do to Shopik, except he threw it inside too much and hit him. Now you come back in and set up that outside part with another changeup, because he backed him off, went in off the dish.
Now the 2-2. Fastball again. Hit to right field. Van Every will make the catch. And we'll go to the ninth. Tied at 5. Goodyear. When the road throws you a curve, get there on Goodyear Innovation. Jensen Lewis coming on here to work the 9th inning now for the Tribe. He'll face David Ortiz, Jason Bay, and Mike Lowell. And a swing and a miss. First pitch changeup from Lewis. I think it tells you a lot about the Indians' bullpen and the state that it's in right now with all the heavy use here. Kerry Wood wasn't even up while the Indians were batting with the bases loaded.
Well,
so that
may
tells
be unavailable.
You he's not available.
Right. Sip wasn't up when they had an opportunity for another left-hander, so he may not be available.
You figure Vinny Chalk's not available because he pitched a lot of innings last night out of the bullpen, which is another reason why they brought up Rich Rundles to add some reinforcements to that pen tonight. Fouled away, 1-2 the count. Meanwhile, in the Boston bullpen, Okajima and Papelbon both loosening. Indians bullpen is quiet. And in the air, center field, Grady Sizemore goes to the knees and makes the grab. That ball might have been knuckling on him. But he hung with it to make the grab. 1 down.
Well, this ball right at him, and they are playing pretty deep. He comes in, you see he didn't get a good read. That ball maybe had some sinking action to it. But he makes a catch.
And now Jason Bay. It was Jason Bay's at bat in the 6th inning that may have changed the course of this ball game. Fausto Carmona at that point had retired 12 straight Red Sox. But Bay drew a walk. And then after back-to-back RBI doubles, the Red Sox were on the board, and they suddenly had a little life. Last year, Kerry Wood, with the Chicago Cubs, pitched on 3 consecutive days 3 times. One time he pitched 4 consecutive days. But it's not something you'll want to do a lot of with your closer. Swing and a miss.
Well, no, the history problems of injuries with him, you know, he's been on the DL, 12, 13 times. You can't.
Well,
it's
remember,
the
first night he pitched in this series, he made a lot of pitches. He was close to 25, 29,
almost
maybe
30
30 pitches.
But the thing of it is, neither one of those were a safe situation.
That's right.
Both games, they were
just
they
to
were
try
tied.
to keep it tied.
Yeah, so
took the loss one night, got the win last night. The 1-2 to Bay. Just missed. 2-2 the count. Boy, he's got such a terrific eye. Combined with what has been a seemingly small strike zone throughout the series. Certainly more hitter friendly than pitcher friendly. We'll put it that way. Swung on and missed. He got him. Nice job by Jensen Lewis to get a tough out there. 2 down.
came back with a changeup. Excellent pitch. 83 miles per hour, gets his first strikeout and gets a very tough hitter. You're right.
Mike Lowell. He's 2 for 4 tonight, but his 2 hits have come in his last 2 at-bats. The 0-1 in the dirt. One more note on the Kerry Wood. Tommy Bowe tells us he made 45 pitches combined in the 2 outings in the last 2 nights.
Well, and then you figure this. I'm sure you got to, you know, if you're off tonight, you get tomorrow off, then he's ready for the weekend.
There's a strike, 1-2 the count now. Tied at 5, trying to send it to the bottom of the 9th and keep it a 5-5 game. $19,137 on their feet, and the pitch is a bouncer up the middle. Peralta throws, got him. Red Sox go 1-2-3. Jensen Lewis keeps it tied. Bottom of the 9th coming up. It'll be Cabrera, Martinez, and Chu. Progressive Field tied at 5. And Hideki Okajima will come on for Boston, left-hander. Facing 2 switch hitters and the left-handed hitting Shin-Soo Choo here in the bottom of the ninth. Second night in a row, these two teams have gone to the ninth, to the bottom of the ninth, in a tie ball game.
Yeah, Okajima pitched in last night's game-winning inning, gave up a hit. Yeah, you had a feeling if these guys played frequently, they would log a lot of hours at the ballpark, these two teams.
I'm not sure what it is about them. I know they both have good hitting lineups, good lineups that like to work the counts.
Yeah, they sure do. They make pitchers work. I mean, you got to come on and be on your game.
We'll see him 2 more times on the upcoming road trip in Fenway Park. And then not again till the final 4 days of the regular season in Boston. Asdrubal Cabrera, a 2-hit night, 2 singles, and a run scored. He pulled it back. Pitch was low. Cabrera thought about bunting his way on. You just need a runner right now.
Changeup. He's got the good changeup, the curveball, and the fastball. It's about 88, maybe 89. But he gives you that same arm speed. And as you said last night, he's never really looking at you when he's throwing the baseball. He's looking at the ground. Comes the breaking ball. Oh, fastball. 89.
Missed with it low. And the count 2-1. Borderline pitch. 2-2 the count. Cabrera may have thought it was a bit too high.
Look at that.
He's looking straight
he's
down.
Not even, yeah, and the ball is not released. He knows right where it's going, though.
The 2-2. And he rings him up. Cabrera telling Jerry Davis, you call one high, you call one low, you give me no wiggle room. One down.
Well, too close to take, I can tell you that. You don't put it in his hands. You don't put it in the umpire's hands, man, with 2 strikes like that. You know,
it did look low, but
well,
as you said, the old axiom, is it too close to take?
Yes. Too close to take. You at least got to try and foul it off if you can't hit it.
Now Victor Martinez steps in. And the pitch misses for ball 1. Hideki Okajima, when he came to America, when he started throwing the baseball we use here in America, he said the feel was different. And he had trouble throwing his curveball.
The seams?
I'm sure that's had a lot to do with it. But he really had trouble finding the right grip to command his breaking ball. And John Farrell, the pitching coach, decided to work on him with a changeup and almost kind of turned it into like a split finger type grip.
Right.
And that became a very devastating pitch for him.
What happens, the baseballs are difference between the major leagues and the minor leagues.
Oh, yeah.
They're different seams. They're a little bigger and a little easier to grip down in the minor leagues than they are here at the big leagues. So. That means fastball. He put 3 down there when Cabrera was sitting. He threw a fastball. 5 was the changeup. All right, let's see a fastball down.
The 2-1. That's definitely too low. 3 balls and a strike with Shin-Soo Choo waiting on deck. Victor had that RBI triple and scored a run back in the first inning. 3-1 delivery, and it's ball 4. So the winning run is aboard. But because of the short bench, the slow-footed Martinez will have to stay in there.
Well, because Shabik's DHing tonight, so in case anything happens, you're right. I mean, as you say, his hands are tied when you have 14 pitchers. So you got problems in the bullpen. It shortens your bench. So this is a point in time where you would use Trevor Crowe or something in a situation, but you can't do it tonight, right now in this situation.
Shin-Soo Choo 0 for 3 tonight. It's a high fly ball, center field. Jacoby Ellsbury will make the catch. 2 away. So Ryan Garko will be the batter now with 2 away and the winning run at first base. Garko had a single in the first inning and a single in the third. Since then, he has grounded out and fouled out. Tribe trying to rally for the second night in a row to win in the bottom of the ninth in a tie game. One and one to count. Back in the first inning, Ryan Garko got jammed.
Off the end, broke his bat, whatever it was, and it fell in. That time he kept his hands back on another off-speed pitch, and he started the night out 2 for 2.
Well, unless something extraordinary were to happen, it would take a home run to score Martinez from first anyway.
Well, we did see Victor with his first triple since, 03 or 04 today. But you're right. I mean, it's going to take 2 hits to score him, unless it is a dinger. I agree wholeheartedly. And then you get Garcon. That'd be a good race with him and Victor. You got to take a homer to score 1.
A 2-1 count for Garko. High, 3 balls and a strike.
There you go. Get that man in the scoring position.
If Garko were to reach via the walk here, Johnny Peralta would be next. Martinez being held at first by Bailey. And with 2 down, the 3-1 pitch to Garko swung on and missed.
Well, he didn't give in, didn't give him a fastball. So now you step out as a hitter and you say, okay, 3-1, he changed up on me. You got to regroup. And now, that was his swing. He wanted to end it or take a cut. Now you got to regroup. Get back in there, focus, hit a line drive, and get a base hit. You don't try and hit it out of the ballpark now. You just try and keep the inning going.
Runner goes, payoff pitch. It's low, ball 4. So indeed, the winning run moves into scoring position. And Johnny Peralta will be the batter. Johnny Peralta to the plate, 0 for 4 tonight. Johnny is 1 for 12, as you see there in the series, and 2 for 30 on the homestand.
The Indians only have 1 hit since the 4th inning. Since Shopik's 2-run homer, and they have 1 single. That's Cabrera back in the 7th. They need a base hit here.
Bouncing ball, third, just foul behind the bag. Victor Martinez, as you see him walking back to second base, he was getting a very big and extended secondary lead.
You need Peralta to get a base hit away from one of the outfielders, what you need, because I'll tell you what, the infielders are giving him a chance to get a big league. They're worried about knocking the ball down on the infield. They don't care. He's got to just keep going, get bigger, bigger, and bigger, and just go back if the second if he doesn't. When the ball goes past the plate.
1-1 to count. Van Every is shortened up in right field, so if Peralta were to shoot one through the right side and it got to Van Every in a hurry, Martinez would not be able to score. Here's the 1-1. Fouled back. Terry Francona having to sweat it out here in the 9th. Okajima has retired 2, but he's also walked 2. And the Indians are looking for a big 2-out base hit here. Struck him out looking. Indians leave 2 aboard, and we've got extra innings tonight. Here at Progressive Field, Jason Varitek to lead it off for Boston. And Jensen Lewis stays on. He came on in the 8th inning to record the final 2 outs, and he worked the 9th inning.
It's the first extra inning game for the Indians this year, and the 3rd for the Red Sox. Boston 1-1 this year in extra inning affairs.
In the air, center field, Grady Sizemore settles under it, 1 away. And that will bring up Jeff Bailey. It was Bailey's bouncing ball in the 8th inning that proved disastrous for the Tribe. He sent a ground ball to third that Mark DeRosa misplayed for an error. That would have been the second, at least the second out in the inning, if not an inning-ending double play. And 2 hits later, the Red Sox tied the game. Oh, and 2 the count for Jensen Lewis here, as he's looking for perhaps a second strikeout. More importantly, he's trying to retire his 6th straight hitter. A little wide, 1-2. Good breaking ball, struck him out. 2 punch outs for Lewis. He has retired 6 straight.
I mean, you talk about Jensen Lewis. He came in, and I mean, he's been throwing strikes. He's been unbelievable. 23 of his 29 pitches have been strikes. The only hit that he gave up, which was the mistake, that's a little slider there, was the 0-2 pitch to Ellsbury.
Yeah.
That he had a chance to get out, but he just gave him just too
location.
good a pitch.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's been pounding the strike zone. You can't help it. But this guy, he seems like when there's nobody on base, if you bring him in to start the inning, he's lights out. It's a little tougher for him when you get guys on base to get through it. But boy, he seems like a different guy when he's out there and nobody's on.
Well, he's pumping it in there with a pretty good rhythm right now.
Yes, he is.
Hit pretty well. Deep center. Grady back. Running out of room. It's out of here. A monster home run for John Van Every. His first home run on the year. And the Red Sox lead it 6-5. Wow, did he tattoo that baseball.
That was hit a long way. There is no doubt about it. And for Jensen, that's his 5th homer. Given up. Ooh, ouch. That's the straightaway out into the trees. That's about you. That's a good 430 away.
Now Julio Lugo takes a strike. And now the Indians will get Jonathan Papelbon in the bottom of the 10th. Masa Kobayashi beginning to loosen now. As Lewis gets a strike, it's 0-2. First major league homer for John Van Every. And it puts the Red Sox in front by a run here in the 10th inning. And now Papelbon awaits. They call it 420 feet on the homer by Van Every. However you call it, it's got Boston in the lead now after they trailed 5-0 here tonight. Lugo's out looking, but now Boston He is in the lead. Tribe will try to tie it or perhaps win it when we come back. As we go to the bottom of the 10th inning, bottom third of the Indians order due up. Jonathan Papelbon coming on for Boston. Jensen Lewis went 2 2/3 innings out of the Indians bullpen tonight. But that home run by John Van Every has the Red Sox in front. And now Papelbon for the 10th time this year. He's a perfect 5 out of 5 in save situations. Mark DeRosa will be first. Then Ben Francisco and Kelly Shoppick. Last year, Papelbon saved 41 games for the Red Sox and had a .234 ERA. In all, he appeared in 67 games for Boston last year. DeRosa goes after the first pitch. He drives one deep center field. Ellsbury back on the track, makes the catch right in front of the wall for out number one. Boy, DeRosa tried to get on top of it and give it a ride and came up just short.
That was the key, Matt. It was just that pitch was just a hair up. Look at that. He went up top and got on top of it as much as you could. If that ball was a little bit lower, he would have drove it into the seats, but just a hair underneath it. He was looking fastball, got it dead red, and just missed.
Now Ben Francisco, he's walked twice, he's singled and scored a run. Fastball at the knees for a strike. Papelbon's fastball can touch 95, 96 miles an hour. And there's the good breaking ball he's got. He also has a splitter that Curt Schilling helped him develop. Missed away with a breaking ball, and the count 2-1.
Okay, now you zone in and look for the heat. Pretty good chance you're going to get it here, 2-1. Ben's a good fastball hitter as well. He loves to hit fastballs, and he doesn't mind right-handers as well. Little slide piece.
Just missed, and it's 3-1. That looked like a pretty good pitch.
That was a tight one there. He tightened that slider up. And I'll tell you what, it looked like a fastball. And watch the late break. That's a good pitch. So, Ben, you catch a break here, pal. Now you look for the fastball. That was a good pitch.
Got it, fouled it back.
Well, plus it had a little run to it. Look at, see, he's had a couple of them today. He's fouled back. And, you know, after hitting one yesterday, he's thinking, my goodness, you know, I'd love to have those pitches back, but you don't get them back.
And now the payoff pitch coming to Ben Francisco with one out in the bottom of the 10th. Tribe down a run. Way outside. The Indians get the tying run aboard. And Kelly Shopik will be the batter. Shopik 1 for 3 with a 2-run homer. He has struck out twice, and he's also been hit by a pitch. Francisco with a good lead at first. And a fastball to the outside corner for strike one. Francisco back with a dive. Jonathan Papelbon, who grew up in Jacksonville, Florida, was originally recruited to Mississippi State University as a first baseman. But after the pitching coach saw him throwing the ball around the infield, he asked him if he wanted to pitch. Papelbon said absolutely. In 2002, the Oakland A's spent a 40th round pick on Papelbon, but he said no thank you and went back to Mississippi State for his senior year. And Red Sox would make him a 4th round pick in 2003. Now the 1-1 pitch coming to Kelly Shopik. Back out of play. Tying run at first base. Shopik winning run at the plate. He's down on the count, a ball and 2 strikes with 1 down. Grady Sizemore waits on deck. Another throw over. Francisco back with a dive. Papelbon, who goes 6'4" in about 230s. Guess you'd say he's a bit of a free spirit. Back in 2005, during the offseason before spring ball, he worked at the Budweiser Brewery hauling cases of beer.
Hauling or drinking?
Heck with all that weightlifting stuff. Just haul some cases of beer around. The 1-2 pitch. Struck him out, 2 down. Two down now for Grady Sizemore, who is 0 for 4 tonight. Grady had a chance in the 8th inning to put the Indians in front. Came up with the bases loaded and 2 out. And hit a line drive toward right field, but John Van Every was able to make the catch. Ben Francisco representing that tying run at first base, and Papelbon has been paying very close attention to him. Another throw over.
Well, if the situation would be if Eric wanted to steal a base, you'd put Trevor Crowe in and steal a base. But what would happen, you could possibly, pitch around Grady. After that, and you'd look at Cabrera. I was thinking of maybe Crowe pinch running there with Shopikitten and trying to steal second base.
I like the fact that he's at least thinking a lot about Francisco. So for Grady Sizemore, if it divides his attention enough that he makes a mistake with a pitch, then keep him there.
Now he's just letting him know that I'm paying attention to you. You're absolutely right. He is slow to the plate, though. Base stealer could swipe one easy off him.
Grady was trying to put the home run swing on it and came up empty. 95 miles an hour from Papelbon.
The thing about Papelbon, he likes to ride that fastball up, and it always seems, you see, when he comes at you, he dips a little bit, and that ball gets on you, I think, a little quicker than most hitters think, and he rides it just above the belt area or the hitting area where it's tough to get on top of. When he comes set and then comes down, watch his drop on his back leg, and then he comes at you, and that ball gets on you.
That looked like the splitter right there, and it was in the dirt, 1-1 to count. When that pitch is on, that's when Papelbon is absolutely unhittable, because hitters say they can't tell the difference between that and his fastball. Eric Wedge hoping to see Sizemore extend the game.
No, he's hoping to see Sizemore end the game.
You and I are hoping to see him end the game.
No, I think everybody around here is get into one. He wants number 7.
1-1 pitch. Looked like Grady was asking for time, and Jerry Davis didn't give it to him.
Well, you're exactly right. That's exactly what he's talking to him about now. And the umpire doesn't have to give the hitter. He's going to hear it from Eric Wedge. And, Grady doesn't say much. But
Grady
you don't know when he was asking for timeout. He's trying to plead his case right now. You saw it. I did not. I was watching Papelbon.
He clearly held his hand up before Papelbon was into his windup. At least
before.
It looked like it was. I don't know if Jerry Davis maybe didn't see him.
Let's check it out. I'm sure our cameras, they never miss anything. Oh, no, that's too late. He didn't have to give it to him there. That is too late.
Okay.
An umpire does not have to give that hitter timeout. He was already set. And I think Grady wanted to try and get timeout, but not there.
Well, he's down to his last strike now. He gets a piece of it to stay alive.
That's a good sink to it. Watch this ball going down. And, I mean, it's late. You can see that spin. That's like the splitter. That's nasty. That's a hard one. That's about 88. I remember when we used to have a guy, Paul Shuey, who would throw one 91 or something like that, a split that was just, when it was on, forget about it.
Tying run at first base. 2 down. A 1-ball, 2-strike count on Grady Sizemore. Bottom of the 10th inning. Papelbon trying to close it out for Boston. Sizemore trying to extend it for the Indians. Francisco takes off. It's up and in. Tying run into scoring position. Ben Francisco has his 3rd steal of the year. Now a base hit would almost certainly tie the game here.
Oh, there's no doubt. They won't be throwing it home.
The 2-2. It's outside and the count goes full.
See, now that first base, he's just going to make a perfect pitch and put him on. He's not going to give in to the fight and throw a fastball just to throw a fastball here. He's going to go at him with his best stuff and make a perfect pitch. If he doesn't, he'll take his chances with Cabrera. Grady's the guy that you don't want to hurt you.
Papelbon stares in. Sizemore awaiting a 3-2 pitch here with 2 down, bottom of the 10th. Well, he challenged him, but he rode it up above the belt. And Grady fouls it straight back.
I'll tell you what, he did come in there. I didn't think he was going to come in like this. Just above the belt. Just, that hitting area is tough. It looks so good, but it gets on you. It jumps on you as a hitter. Okay, can you get that one from under the couch and throw it back? We need it.
That knocked a bowl of chips off the table.
Well, maybe this one's swing will come at him again.
One more time. The 3-2 pitch. Struck him out, and the Red Sox win it. They come from 5 runs down to score 6 unanswered runs, and they win the series